Chapter 1022. Disqualification. Ling Daozi's expression was cold. This was mainly because they were in the lobby of the hotel. If he really killed the people from the Quick Blade sect and Yo Zhuang, he would dirty the hotel. If they were outside, with Ling Daozi's ruthless character, he would have already attacked. People from Yo Zhuang and the Quick Blade sect, listen up. Hurry up and get out of here. You will be disqualified from participating in this martial arts circle convention. Ling Daozi roared loudly. Sighs came from the crowd. The martial arts circle convention was held once every 5 years. All the major sects in the outer martial arts world were waiting for this convention to show off their skills. Now, Ling Daozi's words completely sentenced the Quick Blade sect and Yo Zhuang to death. Elder Black and the Quick Blade sect's elders' faces were ashen. Their intestines were green with regret. They also had some resentment in their hearts. They felt that Ling Daozi's way of handling things was too tyrannical. However, under the might of the Stars sect and Ling Daozi, the two elders didn't even dare to let out a fart. They believed that if they didn't agree, Ling Daozi would immediately kill them. Thank you, Alliance Master Ling Daozi, for not killing us. Quick Blade sect's disciples, listen up. Return to the sect with me now. The Quick Blade sect's elder quickly made a decision. This was his only choice. The 8 disciples of the Quick Blade sect had already left with the elder. Seeing them walk out of the restaurant's entrance, many people sighed in their hearts. Everyone's gaze fell on Elder Black and the Yo Zhuang disciples. Elder Black was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat. He had already decided to leave, but he was extremely unwilling. Originally, everyone was peacefully looking at the exhibits. It was because of Qin Feng that Yo Zhuang's qualification to participate in this martial arts circle convention was disqualified. Elder Black angrily glared at Qin Feng. Since their Yo Zhuang was chased away, Elder Black was prepared to drag someone down with him before he died. What do you mean? You don't want to leave? Ling Daozi's expression darkened. He suddenly glared coldly at Elder Black. Elder He was so scared that his entire body trembled. He said with a smile, Alliance Master Ling Daozi, please don't misunderstand. Our Ox village will leave immediately. It's just that before we leave, we want to tell Alliance Master the cause of the incident. It's all because of that stinking brat that caused a misunderstanding between me and the Quick Blade sect's elder. I hope that sect leader Ling Daozi can chase that stinking brat away as well, so that he doesn't ruin the order of today's treasure inspection conference. Everyone looked in the direction Elder Black was pointing, and their gazes fell on Qin Feng. Qin Feng's lips curled into a cold smile. He looked at Elder Black and didn't say anything. Dongfang Qin Shui was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. It was clearly Elder Black who brought people to cause trouble for Qin Feng, but this old man still had the nerve to hit her. Everyone present shook their heads and sighed as they looked at Qin Feng. They could already guess what would happen to Qin Feng. It was clear that Ling Daozi would disqualify him from the martial arts circle convention, and he would be chased away along with the people from the Ox village. Moreover, it seemed that the Black Elder of the Ox village had a deep hatred for Qin Feng. After both sides were kicked out of the hotel, the people of the Ox village would definitely take revenge on Qin Feng. Ling Daozi had long since looked at Qin Feng, and his expression immediately turned cold. The others didn't know Zhang Shuai's true identity, but Ling Daozi was already certain that he was Qin Feng. Not long ago, Ling Daozi and sect leader Ling Tianhai had come up with a plan to deal with Qin Feng. They would pretend to not know Qin Feng first, and they would capture him after the treasure inspection conference was over. If they chased Qin Feng away now, then wouldn't Ling Daozi and the others' plan for tonight be foiled slap? Everyone was waiting for Ling Daozi to sentence Qin Feng to death, but they suddenly heard a muffled sound. Then, everyone was dumbstruck. They looked at the scene before them in disbelief. Ling Daozi actually sent Elder Black flying with a slap? Alliance leader Ling Daozi, why you? Big Brother Black Bull was so frightened that his legs trembled. He was dumbfounded by Ling Daozi's actions. Elder Black lay on the ground, and his face contorted in pain. However, he didn't dare to make a single sound. Ling Daozi's expression was ice cold. He stared at Elder Black on the ground and roared, "Do I need you to teach me how to do things? Hurry up and take your disciple and scram." Ling Daozi roared angrily, scaring everyone silly. Elder Black couldn't care less about the pain in his body. He hurriedly crawled up and ran out. The disciples of the Nyo village also came to their senses. Their legs trembled as they followed Elder Black out of the hotel. The farce ended just like that. After Ling Daozi watched the people of the Nyo village leave, he didn't look at Qinfeng again. He swaggered to the center of the hall. "I've said before that tonight's treasure inspection conference will be hosted by our Star Sect. The Star Sect will protect everyone's personal and property safety. I don't want what happened just now to happen a second time. Otherwise, I'll kill without mercy." Ling Daozi's voice was cold, and it was like muffled thunder that struck everyone's hearts. Previously, Ling Daozi had said to kill without mercy, but he repeated it this time. Everyone believed that Ling Daozi would do what he said. After the incident with the Nyo village and the Quick Blade sect, the scene of the treasure inspection conference became much quieter. Everyone looked at the treasures on the display racks in an orderly manner. Even when they saw some astonishing treasures, they could suppress their exclamations. They were deeply afraid that they would accidentally offend Ling Daozi. Under Ling Daozi's lead, the people from a Star Sect wandered around the Great Hall, maintaining order at all times. Ling Daozi and the two elders seemed to be patrolling absent-mindedly, but their gazes would occasionally glance at Qinfeng. Qinfeng stood calmly in the crowd. He still hadn't found the Saint's Soul Stone, so he wasn't interested in the other treasures at all. Dongfang Qin Shui stood beside Qinfeng. She was still a little scared after what happened just now. Dongfang Qin Shui felt that Qinfeng's luck was really too good. With Ling Daozi's arrogant and overbearing personality, he actually didn't chase Qinfeng away. It was unbelievable just thinking about it. "Beauty Qin Shui, do you have any treasures that catch your eye?" A burst of laughter could be heard. An elegant man in a blue robe had appeared beside Yun Qingxue at some point in time. "You know me? Who are you?" Yun Qingxue looked at the man cautiously. She couldn't help but lean toward Qinfeng. A cold glint flashed in the man's eyes, but he quickly regained his smile. "Hee Beauty Qin Shui, I'm the genius disciple of the Wudong sect, Zhang Duanya. Beauty Qin Shui is so charming and pure like a white lotus. I can't help but want to make friends with you." Zhang Duanya looked like a gentleman. Coupled with his handsome looks and high status, many female disciples of the outer martial arts world were interested in him. Zhang Duanya had long noticed Dongfang Qin Shui and was about to greet her. However, the incident between the Ox Village and the Quick Blade sect happened. Now that the situation had calmed down, Zhang Duanya came to strike up a conversation with her. Qinfeng stood to the side with a cold smile on his face. A few months ago, Qinfeng had broken the Wudong 13 sword formation during the Second Martial Arts World disturbance and violently beat up Zhang Duanya. At that time, Zhang Duanya was only a stage 7 inner chi cultivator. Now, his strong aura indicated that he had stepped into stage 8 inner chi. This cultivation speed made Qinfeng's eyes light up. "Sorry, I'm not interested in you. You should find someone else." Dongfang Qin Shui's expression turned cold as she directly rejected Zhang Duanya. Recently, Dongfang Qin Shui had been staying in the Sichuan restaurant. She had forgotten that she had been hit on hundreds of times by men. She was mentally tired. Zhang Duanya was young and promising. He had a bit of fame in the outer martial arts world. He had never failed in wooing a woman. Now that he was rejected, he felt a bit embarrassed. "Beauty Qin Shui, what do you think of that white quality jade water sword? If you like it, I'll buy it for you immediately." Zhang Duanya didn't leave. He planned to use treasures to attract Dongfang Qin Shui. Dongfang Qin Shui actually wasn't a true martial artist. Although she had cultivated the stage for inner chi, she lived in the provincial capital most of the time. She wasn't interested in cultivation or spiritual weapons. No need. Zhang Duanya's expression changed slightly. He didn't think that white-quality spiritual weapons wouldn't interest Dongfang Qin Shui. Zhang Duanya hesitated for a moment. He gritted his teeth and pointed at a long whip flickering with orange light on the display case. Could it be that Beauty Qing Shui likes to use long whips? That cloud swallow whip isn't bad. It's the right size and is just right for Miss Qing Shui. If you like it, I can also get it. In order to woo Dong Fong Qing Shui, Zhang Duanya had made up his mind. He had lost his azure tip sword in the martial world disturbance last time, and he was now using white grade spiritual swords. However, he was prepared to get orange grade cloud swallow whip for Dong Fong Qing Shui. Dong Fong Qing Shui's expression became increasingly cold. She had already seen through Zhang Duanya's intentions. However, before she could speak, Qin Feng, who had been silent all this time, suddenly laughed. "Brother, it looks like you have a high status in the outer martial arts world. You can get any treasure." Zhang Duanya didn't pay attention to Qin Feng before. Now that he saw Qin Feng's scarred face, he felt disdain in his heart. "Who are you, brat? You think you're worthy of talking to me?" Qin Feng laughed in his heart. He thought to himself, "Who I am isn't important. Since you're so powerful, can you give me an Azure Peak sword? I heard it's one of Wu Dang's 6 great treasured swords. It should be very powerful, right?" Once Qin Feng mentioned the Azure Peak sword, Zhang Duanya's entire face changed. Ever since Zhang Duanya lost the Azure Peak sword and returned to be scolded by the elders and sect leader of Wu Dang sect, this incident left a shadow in Zhang Duanya's heart. Now, he hated it when people mentioned the 3 words Azure Peak sword. "Brat, who do you think you are? Do you think you can see Wu Dang's 6 great spiritual swords just because you want to?" Zhang Duanya glared at Qin Feng while panting with rage. Qin Feng revealed a smile. "If you don't have it, then forget it. I was just curious." Qin Feng's words rendered Zhang Duanya speechless. He really did not have the Azure Tip sword right now. That sword had been snatched away by Qin Feng, and now Qin Feng's reputation in the martial arts world had soared. Ever since the battle 3 days ago, the Wu-Tang sect leader had ordered that they were not to offend Qin Feng in the future. The Wu-Tang sect did not want that azure-tipped sword anymore. Only Zhang Duanya understood what Qin Feng said. Dongfang Qing Shui was confused. Zhang Duanya glared at Qin Feng while panting with rage and suddenly changed the topic. "Even though I didn't bring the Azure Peak sword, I have a lot of spiritual pills and medicine on me. I also have some other spiritual weapons and cultivation methods. These treasures are things you can't normally see. For example, the Wu Dang sect that I belong to is the #1 sect in the outer martial arts world. The cultivation resources in the sect are countless. It's not something a trash disciple of a small sect like you can imagine, Sanji Yang." Chapter 1023. Zhang Duanya stared at Qin Feng with his head held high. His insufferably arrogant demeanor seemed as if he was about to float to the heavens. He even stole a glance at Dongfang Qing Shui, thinking that Dongfang Qing Shui would definitely be moved. However, he realized that woman's expression was becoming colder and colder. As one of the 5 sects of China, the Wu-Tang sect is indeed powerful. Since you've said so much, why don't you show us some treasures? Otherwise, I'll think you're bragging." Qin Feng looked at Zhang Duanya with a faint smile as if he was looking at an idiot. However, Zhang Duanya didn't see Qin Feng's expression. He thought that Qin Feng was frightened by his own sect and became even more arrogant. Consider yourself lucky today, then I'll just casually take out some of my personal belongings for you to see. Don't be scared to death later," Zhang Duanya said as he began to rummage through his clothes. Dongfang Qing Shui laughed coldly in her heart. As the Azure Dragon of China, Qin Feng must be experienced and knowledgeable. Dongfang Qing Shui felt that a piece of trash like Zhang Duanya had the nerve to show off in front of Qin Feng. Zhang Duanya, on the other hand, had no idea. He was fantasizing about taking out treasures to slap Qin Feng in the face and capture Dongfang Qing Shui's heart at the same time. After fiddling for a long time, Zhang Duanya finally fished out an exquisite jade bottle from his clothes. He carefully held it in his hand. "Brat, open your eyes wide and take a good look. There are real spiritual pills inside." When the bottle was opened, a wave of fragrance wafted out. Many of the spectators smelled the medicinal fragrance and looked over. Someone already cried out in surprise. Huh? This fragrance is very similar to the smell of qi strengthening pills. A rank 4 qi strengthening pill is considered a superior pill. Among this group of outer martial artists, many had the strength of stage 6 inner qi. They needed qi strengthening pills which weren't expensive but were very helpful to them. Not long later, a large group of martial artists surrounded Zhang Duanya. They all stared at the qi strengthening pills in Zhang Duanya's hand with golden eyes. Huh, since someone has recognized the elixir in my hand, then let me give a simple introduction. That's right, the bottle in my hand is indeed qi strengthening pills. There are a total of 6 elixirs in the J bottle. This kind of elixir has no effect on me, so I take them as healing pills. Zhang Duanya boasted to the heavens. The qi consolidating pill was indeed not very effective in helping him to break through, but he still treasured it very much. Normally, he would give it to the female disciples of other sects when he was picking up girls and then use it to get a room. Most of them knew Zhang Duanya's identity, and they all looked at him enviously. The Wu-Tang clan was indeed worthy of being one of the 5 major sections. The cultivation resources possessed by the disciples of the sect were indeed abundant. Hero Zhang, since this qi strengthening pill has no effect on you, why don't you sell it to me? Someone could no longer hold it in and asked Zhang Duanya for his opinion. Of course, Zhang Duanya did not plan to sell the qi strengthening pill. This was a treasure that he used to show off. However, he did not reject them directly because he liked the feeling of being the center of attention. Hero Zhang, I want one too. Sell me one too. I heard that Hero Zhang is a genius disciple of the Wu-Tang clan. He stepped into the realm of stage 8 inner qi in his early 30s. In a few years, Hero Zhang's name will definitely resound throughout the martial arts world. In order to obtain the qi strengthening pill in Zhang Duanya's hands, many people had already put down their moral integrity and started to flatter him in various ways. Zhang Duanya was immensely pleased with himself. He felt as if he was about to float. Dongfang Qin Shui glared at Qin Feng with a cold expression. She lowered her voice and complained into Qin Feng's ear. Hurry up and take out an even more powerful pill to slap his face. I don't like him. As the daughter of the Dongfang clan, Dongfang Qin Shui was this direct and willful. She would directly suppress whoever she disliked. She would not beat around the bush and play those hypocritical tricks. Since Dongfang Qin Shui made such a request, Qin Feng naturally had to satisfy her. After all, this woman was Qin Feng's fiancée. Grade 4 qi strengthening pill. Not bad, not bad. Qin Feng chuckled as he looked at Zhang Duanya. Zhang Duanya thought that Qin Feng was also trying to flatter him. He immediately looked at Qin Feng arrogantly. TSK, isn't it just a bottle of qi strengthening pill? It's trash that I don't even care about. Usually, I eat golden pills that are grade 6 and above when I cultivate. Rank advancement pills, diamond pills, knowledge pills, yin-yang golden pills. What kind of pills have I not seen? Zhang Duanya still flaunted his good deed. The surrounding martial artists all felt a wave of contempt for him. A 6th grade golden elixir was very rare in the outside martial arts world. Even in a hidden sect like the Starlight sect, it was very rare. However, although everyone knew that Zhang Duanya was bragging, no one exposed him. After all, everyone was very envious of the energy consolidation pill in Zhang Duanya's hands. They wanted to get one to stabilize their current strength. Since Brother Zhang doesn't care about the qi strengthening pill in your hands, why don't you give everyone a few? Qin Feng suddenly laughed. His words instantly silenced the noisy surroundings. The surrounding martial artists all looked at Qin Feng with an excited expression, as if they had seen their own father. The smile on Zhang Duanya's face instantly froze. His face was as black as the bottom of a pot. Are you crazy? This is a grade 4 spirit pill. How can you give it away so easily? Qin Feng flipped his hand and grabbed a large handful of qi strengthening pills. With Qin Feng's current strength, he was truly eating qi strengthening pills like healing pills. Moreover, he ate them in handfuls every time. Wow, young hero, are all of the qi strengthening pills in your hands? This is incredible. This young hero is the real deal. He can casually grab a handful of chi-strengthening pills. Amazing, truly amazing. Everyone looked at Qin Feng's large hand. Their eyes glowed with greed like hungry wolves. Zhang Duanya suddenly choked. He felt as if there was a fishbone stuck in his throat. Young hero, you have so many chi-strengthening pills. Why don't you sell me one? Just name your price. Everyone ignored Zhang Duanya and focused on Qin Feng. This was because Qin Feng had more than 30 chi-strengthening pills in his hands. Moreover, the medicinal fragrance was clearly more fragrant than the chi-strengthening pills in Zhang Duanya's jade bottle. This meant that Qin Feng's chi-strengthening pills were of higher quality. Hey, what are you buying? I eat these pills like they're bubblegum. If you want one, I'll give you two. Qin Feng casually grabbed 2 chi-strengthening pills and threw them to a brawny man beside him. The brawny man suddenly froze. He felt as if he was dreaming. Why, young hero? Why, you're really giving them to me? Then I won't be courteous. I am Sky Mountain Sect's disciple Yin Shang. In the future, if young hero needs anything, just look for me. I will do my best to help you. The brawny man took the 2 milky white pills. He was so excited that his voice was trembling. Everyone else could not remain calm. Qin Feng was too generous. These are grade 4 spirit pill chi strengthening pills. Qin Feng gave them away for free without saying a word. This was too fucking exciting. Young hero, I am a disciple of the Throwing Dagger Association. Can you give me one as well? I am an elder of the Shadowless Feet sect. I hope young hero can reward me with a chi strengthening pill. In an instant, the crowd surged forward to ask Qin Feng for chi strengthening pills. Even Dong Fong Qing Shui was stunned. She did not expect Qin Feng to give away pills for free. Although she was not interested in pills and spiritual weapons, Dong Fong Qing Shui knew the importance of these things to martial artists. Seeing Qin Feng give away pills one by one, Dong Fong Qing Shui felt a bit of heartache for Qin Feng. Did he do this to help her anger Zhang Duanya? Hey, you're really giving them away? I am not angry anymore. Hurry up and put the pills away. Don't you need them for your own cultivation? Dong Fong Qing Shui suddenly pulled Qin Feng to the side and whispered in his ear. The two of them were almost pressed together. Dong Fong Qing Shui's fragrance wafted into Qin Feng's nose. Qin Feng felt a bit of warmth in his heart when he saw eldest Mrs. Heartache. Miss Qing Shui, I'm the one giving the pills. Why are you feeling heartache? Don't tell me you've really fallen for me? Qin Feng looked at Dong Fong Qing Shui with a smile. Dong Fong Qing Shui suddenly came to her senses. Qin Feng was right. Why was she feeling heartache? I can't be bothered with you. It's better if you give away all your pills. Dong Fong Qing Shui angrily flung Qin Feng's arm away. She felt that Qin Feng did not know how to appreciate kindness. Of course, Qin Feng understood Dong Fong Qing Shui's thoughts. However, rank 4 chi strengthening pills were really nothing to him. With Qin Feng's current status as a rank 6 alchemist, he could refine a few batches in a matter of minutes. Everyone, I only brought 40 chi strengthening pills today. Now that I've given them away, I'll give them to everyone for free next time. Qin Feng chuckled as he looked at the crowd. The martial artists who received the chi strengthening pills were grinning from ear to ear. Those who didn't get in line hung their heads dejectedly. Zhang Duanya had long since been forgotten by everyone and became transparent air. Young hero, you're too generous. I like to make friends with people like you. If you don't mind, can you tell us your name and sect? From now on, our North Pole sect will be your sect's ally. Our Sky Mountain sect is also Young Hero's friend. Kunlun sect is willing to become good friends with Young Hero. All the sects that received Qin Feng's chi strengthening pills took the initiative to express their goodwill to Qin Feng. Qin Feng was able to use the chi strengthening pills to solidify the goodwill of so many sections. However, Qin Feng appeared with the identity of Zheng Shuai, so it wasn't appropriate for him to announce the name of the Hero Alliance. He swept his gaze across the crowd and said with a smile, I'm a new disciple of the Blue Moon Observatory. I hope everyone will take care of me in the future. Qin Feng's words caused the crowd to gasp in surprise. The Blue Moon Observatory was only a small and unremarkable sect in the martial arts world. If Qin Feng didn't mention it, everyone would have forgotten about this sect. Dong Fangqing Shui's eyeballs almost fell out of their sockets. A warm feeling surged in her heart. She finally understood Qin Feng's intention of giving away the pills for free. It turned out that he was helping the sect she was in gain fame. The Qing Yuan sect leader also stood in the crowd and stared dumbfoundedly at Qin Feng. How could a person who casually took out 40 qi strengthening pills be an ordinary person? Perhaps even Ling Daozi couldn't be so extravagant. Chapter 10:24. Zhang Biao stood in the crowd with a darkened expression. He glared at Qin Feng with a huff and looked like he wanted to rush up and fight Qin Feng. Qin Feng was too outstanding. He felt like he could compete with young Master Qin. Zhang Biao was worried that if things continued like this, sister-in-law Qin Shui would be poached away by that scar-faced man. Don't stand on ceremony, everyone. I'm not giving everyone the qi strengthening pills to build relationships. It's just that these pills are useless to me, so why not give them to everyone? Brother Zhang from the Wu-Tang sect also said that the pills are useless to him. I believe he will also give them to everyone. As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, everyone's gazes fell on Zhang Duanya. Zhang Duanya was so frightened that he immediately grabbed the jade bottle tightly in his hand. Young hero Zhang, since this little brother from the Blue Moon Temple has given it, a large sect like your Wu-Tang sect will definitely give it as well. Otherwise, we won't have the face to stay here. Everyone, don't worry. We'll line up and wait for young hero Zhang to give us the qi strengthening pills. If he doesn't, we'll break his dog legs. Everyone's eyes turned red when they saw the qi strengthening pills. They even threatened Zhang Duanya. Zhang Duanya was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. Whether it was in terms of face or martial arts, he had to give them. Cough, cough. Then I'll give you 3 qi strengthening pills. I'll keep the rest for use. Zhang Duanya clenched his teeth. 3 qi strengthening pills seemed to have taken half his life. Dong Fangqing Shui looked down on Zhang Duanya's behavior. She thought of Qin Feng's extravagant manner when he gave the pills and was extremely careful. Why are you only giving 3? Is young hero Zhang so stingy? The Wu-Tang sect can't even compare to the Blue Moon Temple. This is really unexpected. Everyone was here to watch the show and were not afraid of making things worse. They all made a ruckus. Zhang Duanya was so angry that his face was as black as the bottom of a pot. He suddenly felt that his hand was empty. The jade bottle had disappeared. Huh, don't worry, everyone. How could Brother Zhang only give 3? Let me see, there are only 6 left. Just nice for you. The jade bottle was in Qin Feng's hands at some point. He poured out the qi strengthening pills and gave them away. Zhang Duanya was dazed for a moment and realized that all the pills he had saved were gone. He was so angry that he almost exploded. Hey, what are you doing? Who told you to give away the spirit pill? Zhang Duanya rushed up and yelled at Qin Feng. He looked like he was about to fight. Brother Zhang, what kind of attitude is that? Did I make a mistake? Could it be that you don't want to give everyone a qi strengthening pill? All right, I'll get it back for you. Qin Feng had a look of indifference on his face, and Zhang Duanya immediately became anxious. He had already given away the pill, so how could he have the face to ask for it back? That would be like slapping the Wu-Tang clan in the face. Besides, even if he wanted it, could he get it back? Zhang Duanya watched as the 6 people who had taken his pills swallowed the qi consolidating pills in front of everyone. Cough, cough. Forget it, forget it. I've already given it away. There's no reason to take it back. Anyway, I don't care about those 6 qi strengthening pills. Just treat it as a gift to make friend with everyone. Zhang Duanya saw that the situation could no longer be salvaged, so he could only pretend to be calm and put on a confident expression. He thought that it would not be a loss if he could exchange 6 qi consolidating pills for a friendly relationship with those 6 sections. TSK, who want to make friends with you? Look at how distressed you were when you gave away the pills just now. I've never seen anyone more stingy than you. That's right, that's right. Just now, The young hero from the Blue Moon Monastery gave away so quickly. He brought 40 chi strengthening pills at once, and you gave 6 to a beggar? What a disgrace, and you're even a member of the Wu-Tang clan. Zhang Duanya was still waiting for everyone to curry favor with him and say good things, but all he got were complaints and disdain. Zhang Duanya was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He had never seen such heartless and unscrupulous people before. Dong Fangqing Shui bent over in laughter. She realized that Qin Feng's ability to mess with people was truly at the point of perfection, reaching a pinnacle that others could only look up to. If anyone was blind enough to offend Qin Feng, that person would truly have 8 lifetimes of bad luck. Everyone was still complaining about Zhang Duanya, but after complaining, they began to praise Qin Feng's extravagance and confidence. The Blue Moon Monastery that was originally neglected and even forgotten by everyone was constantly brought up in these 10 minutes. Evidently, it had become the main character of the day. Sect leader Qin Yuan and the 2 female disciples were grinning from ear to ear as they conversed with everyone. Shenhai was also extremely pleased with himself. He kept telling everyone that he was the most powerful genius disciple of the Blue Moon Monastery. However, no one paid any attention to Shenhai. Everyone surrounded Qin Feng and chatted happily. After making friends, everyone continued to admire the treasures on the display shelves. After all, the rank 4 Qi strengthening pills were much lower grade compared to the spirit pills on the display shelves, so everyone's focus was on the display shelves. Qin Feng was finally free, and Dongfang Qin Shui came to Qin Feng's side. After what just happened, Dongfang Qin Shui was inexplicably happy. She purposely stuck close to Qin Feng, shoulder to shoulder. Zhang Duanya was still suppressing a bellyful of anger after being disdained by everyone. He was a genius disciple of the Wu-Tang clan, but he couldn't even beat a new disciple of the Blue Moon Monastery. Seeing Dongfang Qin Shui starting to stick close to Qin Feng, how could Zhang Duanya swallow this resentment? Stinking brat, how dare you trick me just now? You're courting death. Seeing that everyone had left, Zhang Duanya ran over to play hard on Qin Feng again. Dongfang Qin Shui had never seen such a trashy man like Zhang Duanya. She glared at him and reprimanded. Are you done yet? Hurry up and leave. Don't ruin our mood. Zhang Duanya was speechless after being reprimanded. He was here to woo Dongfang Qin Shui, so he couldn't offend this woman, right? Zhang Duanya was also angered. He waved his hand and suddenly pulled out a long sword from his waist. The body of the sword flickered with orange light, and there was even a faint spiritual aura surging on it. It was obviously an orange-grade spiritual sword. Dongfang Qin Shui was stunned when she saw the sword. She usually didn't pay attention to the spiritual weapons used by martial artists. This was the first time she saw an orange-grade spiritual sword at such a close distance. The waves of spiritual aura drifting over made Dongfang Qin Shui feel comfortable all over. With the sword out, Zhang Duanya was instantly pleased. This was one of Wu Dang's 6 great swords, the Soaring Cloud Sword. It was as famous as the azure-tipped sword. A hint of a smile flashed across Qin Feng's eyes. Orange-grade spiritual swords were something he had been playing with for a few months. Qin Feng even gave the azure-tipped sword to Wen Yiming, the Spirit Blast sword to Qin Wudao, and the orange-grade fire rod to Yun Zhe. To the current Qin Feng, orange-grade spiritual weapons were completely unworthy of his attention. Brother Zhang, why did you suddenly pull out a long sword? Do you want to fight? They'll have to call the people from Stellar Gate over. Are you trying to cause trouble? Qin Feng's words scared Zhang Duanya so much that his arrogance immediately dissipated. He hurriedly hid the Soaring Cloud Sword in his sleeves and shouted in a low voice, Are you crazy? I want you to see Wu Dang's Soaring Cloud Sword. This is one of Wu Dang's 6 great swords that shares the same name as the azure-tipped sword. When did I say I wanted to cause trouble? Not long ago, the Quick Blade sect and the Ox Village were disqualified from participating in the martial arts circle convention. In front of a hidden sect like Stellar Gate, Zhang Duanya of Wu Dang sect did not dare to act blindly without thinking. Qin Feng saw that Zhang Duanya was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat and felt it was funny. He pretended to be enlightened and said, "Oh, this is the soaring cloud sword? Quick, let me take a closer look." Zhang Duanya's arrogance returned. He puffed out his chest and raised his head to glare at Qin Feng. This is one of my Wu Dang sect's 6 great swords. Normally, other people can't even see it even if they wanted to. You brat, you think you can see it just because you say so? Who do you think you are? Zhang Duanya took out the soaring cloud sword to show off in front of Dong, Feng Qin Shui, and also to whet Qin Feng's appetite. Seeing Qin Feng's eager expression, Zhang Duanya was extremely pleased. However, Zhang Duanya did not show off for a few seconds. Qin Feng pulled Dong Feng Qin Shui and turned to leave. "Since you don't want to show it, don't take it out, you're crazy." Dong Feng Qin Shui was also very displeased. She did not forget to turn around and add, "Idiot." Zhang Duanya held the soaring cloud sword in his hand and felt a bit uncomfortable. He hurriedly chased after them and pulled Qin Feng to a corner with fewer people. "Brother, don't go. I'll show it to you, all right? There were too many people there just now. I'm afraid that if I show it, it will cause a commotion." Qin Feng smiled and looked at Zhang Duanya. "Oh, is that so? Now that there's no one here, take it out for me to see." Zhang Duanya was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. Usually, it was people begging him to see Wu Dang's 6 great spiritual swords. Now, it was him begging Qin Feng to see the soaring cloud sword. What the fuck was this? Although he was angry, Zhang Duanya still pretended to be calm and took out the soaring cloud sword. The long sword was made very exquisitely, and there were even a few flying clouds carved on the blade. Dong Feng Qin Shui's eyes sparkled when she saw it. Zhang Duanya had been secretly observing Dong Feng Qin Shui's reaction. Seeing that she seemed to really like the soaring cloud sword, Zhang Duanya's heart instantly became excited. He was confident that he could use this soaring cloud sword to trick Dong Feng Qin Shui in a bed. Wow, so this is the soaring cloud sword. It truly lives up to its reputation. Qin Feng also pretended to be pleasantly surprised. He extended his hand to snatch the treasured sword from Zhang Duanya's hand. "Tsk. Look at how perfectly this sword is made. This sword must be very expensive, right?" Zhang Duanya was so scared that his entire body trembled. He extended his hand to snatch the soaring cloud sword back. "Hey, you brat, just look at it. Who told you to touch it?" Qin Feng casually tilted his body and dodged Zhang Duanya's hand. He curled his lips and said, "Brother Zhang, what are you so nervous about? There's no one else here. Let me touch it and feel it. This is one of Wu Dang's 6 great spiritual swords, the soaring cloud sword. It can't be damaged just by touching it." Qin Feng spoke with conviction, and Zhang Duanya couldn't refute him. Furthermore, Dong Feng Qin Shui was also here. If Zhang Duanya forcefully snatched the treasured sword back, it would seem like he wasn't generous enough. Zhang Duanya gritted his teeth and followed Qin Feng to examine the soaring cloud sword. At most, he would let that brat look at it for half a minute, and then he would take it back. Qin Feng casually swept a few glances at the soaring cloud sword. He wasn't excited. This orange-gray treasure sword was considered to be of high quality, but it was still an orange-grade spiritual weapon. Compared to Qin Feng's Heaven Splitter Axe and Blood Drinker Blade, it was far inferior. Chapter 1025. Actually, Qin Feng didn't lack anything in Hero City. Huabei built a herb garden in Hero City and planted all kinds of spiritual herbs and spiritual plants. The majority of the Yun family in the provincial capital had also moved to Hero City. The Yun family had always been a family of artifact refiners, and with the help of Hero City's funds and conditions, the Yun family's reputation was growing. The number of spirit artifacts they refined every year also increased, and in just a few short months, their reputation had already caught up to the Sima family's blacksmith shop. Now, Zhang Duanya was showing off the medicinal pills to Qin Feng, and he was showing off the soaring cloud sword. These actions were really going to make Qin Feng laugh to death. He had never seen someone who needed to be tortured so much. "Hey, are you done looking? Give me back the soaring cloud sword. Don't break it." Zhang Duanya was burning with anxiety and urged Qin Feng. Dong Fang Qing Shui raised her beautiful brows and looked down on Zhang Duanya even more. Can't you be more manly? Zhang Shui just got the soaring cloud sword, and it hasn't even been 10 seconds. You shouldn't have taken it out in the first place. You're crazy. After being looked down upon by Dong Fang Qing Shui, Zhang Duanya felt extremely sullen. This time, he couldn't urge Qin Feng anymore. That was an orange equipment sword. How could it be broken? Zhang Duanya was slightly relieved. Qin Feng looked like he was admiring the soaring cloud sword, but he was secretly activating the fire of destruction. The flame of destruction was the myriad beast true fire. Its power was dozens of times stronger than the true Qi flames released by a true Qi expert. When Qin Feng fought with purple dragon Su Xiaotian at the Broken Cliff Mountain, he used the flame of destruction to melt Su Xiaotian's orange great heaven-splitting blade in a fit of anger. Rumble. A ball of fire appeared in Qin Feng's palm, but it was controlled by Qin Feng very well. It disappeared in the blink of an eye, and no one saw the fire of destruction appear. What's that sound? Zhang Duanya didn't see it, but he heard a faint sound. Qin Feng casually threw the soaring cloud sword to Zhang Duanya and said with a pout, "Why are you so alarmed? It's just the sound of the wind. Look at how scared you are." Normally, Zhang Duanya wouldn't be startled by the sound of the wind. However, the soaring cloud sword was in Qin Feng's hands, so any rustle of grass in the wind would make him extremely nervous. At this moment, the soaring cloud sword had already returned to Zhang Duanya's hands. His heart finally calmed down. Thinking of his embarrassing action just now, he hurriedly laughed and said, "Ha ha, what do you think? The flying cloud sword is one of the 6 spiritual swords of Wudong sect. It's very powerful, isn't it? The sect leader has entrusted it to me for safekeeping. With this spiritual sword, even though I'm only a stage 8 inner Qi warrior, I can still fight against a stage 9 inner Qi master." Zhang Duanya revealed a proud expression. He was only in his early 30s, but he already possessed the strength to fight against a stage 9 inner Qi expert. Even in the entire pugilistic world, this kind of skill was extremely rare. Zhang Duanya had originally thought that after his boasting, Dong Fang Qing Shui's eyes would be filled with envy and that Zhang Shui would also be scared witless. In the end, he secretly glanced at the two of them and discovered that this was not the case at all. TSK. He's only at the early stage of stage 9 inner Qi. How can he be arrogant? How ignorant? Dong Fang Qing Shui couldn't help but grumble. Qin Feng was already at the peak of stage 9 inner Qi, but he didn't talk about it every day. Qin Feng also put on a disdainful expression. He looked at the flying cloud sword in Zhang Duanya's hands and said, "Brother Zhang, this is only an orange-grade spiritual weapon. It's not as incredible as you've bragged. You're only at stage 8 inner Qi, so how can you fight against a stage 9 inner Qi martial artist with an orange-grade spiritual weapon?" Zhang Duanya was so angry that his lungs were about to explode after being despised by the two of them. He was also angry. He immediately glared at Qin Feng and roared, "Stinking brat, what do you mean by this? Are you looking down on our Wudong sect's 6 spiritual swords? If you have the guts, then fight with me right now. I'll let you see the power of this flying cloud sword." A majestic aura burst out from Zhang Duanya's body, pressuring Dong Fang Qing Shui to the point that she couldn't breathe. Qin Feng embraced Dong Fang Qing Shui in his arms. A layer of strong aura also appeared on his body, instantly suppressing Zhang Duanya's aura. "Are you fighting here? Then I'll first call Alliance Master Ling Daozi of the Starlight Sect over and ask him if he'll let you hit him." Qin Feng's words scared Zhang Duanya so much that he immediately broke his aura. His aura instantly disappeared. Zhang Duanya didn't dare to call Ling Daozi over, unless their Wudong sect didn't want to participate in this year's martial arts circle convention. Looking at Zhang Duanya's sullen expression, Qin Feng smiled and said, "Because of the Treasure Inspection Guild's rules, I obviously can't fight with you. Why don't Brother Zhang just swing your sword a few times and let us see your strength and the power of the flying cloud sword?" Qin Feng took the initiative to help Zhang Duanya out of his predicament, stunning both Zhang Duanya and Dong Fong Qin Shui. Dong Fong Qin Shui glared at Qin Feng angrily. She even secretly pinched Qin Feng's lower back and whispered into Qin Feng's ear, "Are you stupid? Why are you speaking up for him?" Qin Feng didn't explain and smiled at Dong Fong Qin Shui. Zhang Duanya came back to his senses and hurriedly waved the flying cloud sword in his hand. He wanted to properly display his strength and the power of the flying cloud sword. Whoosh! A streak of sword chi flew through the air, and even Dong Fong Qin Shui jumped in fright. The flying cloud sword was indeed a high-grade spiritual sword. When it was waved, it flashed with an orange light. The spiritual chi on the long sword instantly burst forth, as if the entire sword had a life of its own. Zhang Duanya waved the flying cloud sword, and his entire aura changed. He was like an expert pointing out the world with his sword. He even secretly glanced at Dong Fong Qin Shui. When he saw Dong Fong Qin Shui's shocked expression, he was indescribably pleased. Crack! Just as the flying cloud sword made a half circle in the air, a crisp sound suddenly rang out. Zhang Duanya felt the weight in his hand lighten. The flying cloud sword, one of the 6 great spiritual swords of Wu Dang, had actually been broken into 2. One half of the sword had already fallen to the ground. The atmosphere froze in an instant. Zhang Duanya's moves were all frozen in midair. His eyeballs had already fallen to the ground as he stared at the scene in front of him in disbelief. Dong Fong Qin Shui was also dumbfounded. Then, she couldn't help but hold her stomach and laughed. "Haha, you have a nerve to display this lousy sword? And you say it's one of the 6 great spiritual swords of Wu Dang? So the Wu Dang sect is actually such a noob." Dong Fong Qin Shui convulsed with laughter. Zhang Duanya stood rooted to the ground, unable to regain his senses for a long time. A few months ago, Zhang Duanya had just lost the Wu Dang azure-tipped sword. Now, he had broken the flying cloud sword. His back was drenched in cold sweat. It was as if he had seen the scene of himself being hung upside down on a tree stump and whipped by the Wu Dang sect leader. What the hell? Brother Zhang, what the hell is this? Why did it break after just one swing? Don't tell me you randomly took out a fake to play with us? Qin Feng pretended to be shocked as he stared at Zhang Duanya. Qin Feng knew best why the flying cloud sword had broken. It was because the broken part of the sword had just been roasted by Qin Feng's fire of destruction. Zhang Duanya was truly dumbfounded. He only regained his senses after being stunned for a while. As soon as he regained his senses, Zhang Duanya bared his fangs and brandished his claws at Qin Feng. He yelled coldly, "Stinking brat, it's you, isn't it? You're the one who broke the flying cloud sword. Hey, hurry and let go of my boyfriend. Don't you have any shame? You took out a lousy sword and broke it, and you still have the nerve to frame my boyfriend." Dong Fong Qin Shui was anxious and called Qin Feng her boyfriend. Dong Fong Qin Shui didn't know about Qin Feng's little actions earlier. She really thought that the flying cloud sword was broken by Zhang Duanya. In reality, Zhang Duanya still couldn't understand. How could the flying cloud sword break with just one swing? He didn't suspect Qin Feng. Instead, he purposely put the blame on Qin Feng because Zhang Duanya couldn't take the blame. Qin Feng's body shook lightly, and he shook off Zhang Duanya's hand. Zhang Duanya was stunned for a moment. Only now did he realize that this unremarkable scar-faced man in front of him was actually an expert. Don't be unreasonable here. You want to trick me with a lousy sword? Do you think I'm scared? Qin Feng's expression became cold, and a powerful aura exploded from his body. Zhang Duanya didn't dare to go near Qin Feng, but he still said, "This is one of Wu Dang's 6 great spiritual swords, the Flying Cloud Sword. How could a high-grade orange spiritual sword suddenly break? You must have broken it when you touched it just now." Zhang Duanya completely shed all pretense of cordiality. Dong Fong Qin Shui was so angry that she gritted her teeth. Qin Feng had a calm and composed expression. "You already said that this is a high-grade orange spiritual sword. So how could it break with just a touch from me? I think this is just a replica. Are you trying to trick me? I'll call the people from the Starlight sect to get justice for me." Qin Feng acted like he was going to call for help. This scared Zhang Duanya so much that he immediately deflated. Don't call for help. Then what do you think we should do about this sword? Qin Feng asked with a cold expression. Zhang Duanya was so sullen that tears almost flowed out. He couldn't understand what was going on no matter how much he thought about it. However, Zhang Duanya knew that this had nothing to do with Qin Feng. He only touched the flying cloud sword, so how could it break? This, I won't blame you. However, you have to help me keep this a secret. Don't tell anyone about this. Zhang Duanya was still afraid that the Starlight sect would come. If that happened, they would treat him as a troublemaker and directly disqualify him from the Martial Circle Convention. Zhang Duanya had already thought it through. This flying cloud sword was given to him for safekeeping by the sect leader of the Wudong sect. At least for this period of time, the Wudong sect wouldn't know that the flying cloud sword was broken. After the Martial Circle Convention ended, Zhang Duanya was prepared to go to the smithy to find a master to see if he could reattach this broken sword. TSK. After all this time, you only got a broken sword to show off. So embarrassing. Darling, let's go. Qin Feng held back his laughter and rolled his eyes at Zhang Duanya. Then, he hugged Dongfang Qing Shui and swaggered back to the display rack. Zhang Duanya could only watch as the two left intimately. He was really depressed to death. He originally wanted to woo Dongfang Qing Shui, but in the end, he lost 6 chi-strengthening pills and a broken flying cloud sword. In the end, he didn't even get to touch Dongfang Qing Shui's little hand. That Wudong sect man is so low. I've never seen such a trashy man. Dongfang Qing Shui was still cursing Zhang Duanya. Chapter 10:26. Dongfang Qing Shui was stunned. She didn't even notice that Qin Feng was hugging her waist. After staring at Qin Feng for a long time, Dongfang Qing Shui suddenly came to her senses. So, it was you? You're so cool. Piss off that Wu-Tang sect idiot. Dongfang Qing Shui had long disliked Zhang Duanya's behavior. After knowing the truth, she was so excited that she hugged Qin Feng's neck and jumped. Everyone looked at Dongfang Qing Shui. They all sighed in their hearts when they saw that an ugly man like Qin Feng could flirt with a beauty like Dongfang Qing Shui. Qing Shui, jump higher. Qin Feng stared at Dongfang Qing Shui's chest like a pig and muttered. Dongfang Qing Shui jumped halfway and abruptly stopped. She let out a cry of surprise and pushed Qin Feng away. A rosy blush flashed across her 1,000-year iceberg handsome face. She was as beautiful and moving as the setting sun. Pervert, go to hell. Dongfang Qing Shui punched Qin Feng's chest, then turned around and ran to sect leader Qin Yuan. Zhang Biao shook his head when he saw this. He realized sister-in-law Qing Shui had taken a liking to that scar-faced man. He was so angry that he clenched his fists and glared at Qin Feng. If it wasn't for the fact that the people from Starlight Sect forbade fighting, Zhang Biao would have rushed up and beat Qin Feng up. Buzz! Qin Feng didn't find the Saint's Soul Stone after staying in the Treasure Convention for a long time. However, at this moment, the Emerald Spirit Ring on his finger vibrated. It was a sign that it had sensed a treasure. Qin Feng hurriedly followed the direction of the Emerald Spirit Ring and arrived at the bottom of the display shelves. The order and position of the treasures on these 2 display racks were quite particular. The higher up and closer to the center, the rarer the treasures. As for where Qin Feng was standing, the treasures basically didn't attract much attention. Qin Feng didn't care about this. Instead, he squatted on the ground and carefully looked at the display items at the bottom. The items on this level were indeed of low quality. They were all second-grade elixirs. There were also some white-grade weapons that couldn't even reach the spiritual grade. There were also some antique jades and medicinal herbs like 1,000-year-old ginseng used for alchemy. These were all things that people didn't really care about. Qin Feng searched for a long time. The Emerald Spirit Ring could only lock onto such a small area. It was more difficult to lock onto the items because there were hundreds of treasures on this level. This stone is a little special. After searching for more than 10 minutes, Qin Feng's eyes suddenly lit up. An extremely inconspicuous broken stone fell into his sight. The stone was completely black, as if it was going to swallow all light. It was completely inconspicuous among the items, and Qinfen had overlooked it many times. However, the outer layer of the shelf was protected by glass, so Qinfen could only look through the glass. He had no way of holding the stone in his hand. In this way, Qinfen couldn't determine whether the treasure caused by the Emerald Spirit Ring was this pitch-black stone or not. Everyone, the exhibition time is over. Now it's time for the auction. These exhibition items are the treasures brought by the major sects in the outer martial arts world. The representatives of the sects have reached an agreement with the Stars sect. They are willing to auction these items in public. If anyone has something you want to auction, please come to the Stars sect and sign an auction agreement with me. Ling Daozi's voice rang out, and a look of eagerness appeared on the faces of everyone in the hall. The most important part of tonight's auction had finally arrived. Everyone had been waiting all night for this moment. At this moment, groups of people walked into the Sichuan restaurant. The martial artists in the hall turned their heads to look. When they saw the newcomers, they immediately cried out in surprise. Qinfen also looked towards the entrance curiously. The 4 groups of people were obviously from the 4 sections. They were all dressed in the same way, and they emitted a cold and arrogant aura. They looked at everyone with cold eyes, as if the martial artists in the hall were not worth mentioning in their eyes. Soon, Qinfen saw Su Ruoro and Hua Xianyu among the people who came. When Pikachu saw Su Ruoro, he ran around and shouted excitedly in the system. Qinfeng's calm heart was instantly stirred up by a storm. He wanted to rush over and carry Su Ruoro away. But Qinfen calmed down in the end. At least in the current situation and Qinfeng's situation, he couldn't act blindly without thinking. Who are these people? The Treasure Inspection Convention is already at the last segment. They are so arrogant. They're going to be chased out by the Starlight sect in a while. The crowd was already in an uproar, and there were all kinds of discussions. Shut up if you don't want to die. You don't even know them? They are 4 of the 5 hidden hegemons. They are the Serenity sect, Snow Mountain sect, Immortal Cloud sect, and Ice Lake Mountain, including the Starlight sect. That makes 5 sects. When Qinfen heard the discussion, a glint flashed across his eyes. So these were the other 4 sects of the 5 hidden hegemons. Qinfen moved his gaze away from Su Ruoro and carefully sized up the disciples of the other 3 sections. The disciples who came were basically young disciples under the age of 30, but they had a strong inner chi. They were all Stage 8 inner chi experts, and there were even a few who had stepped into the ranks of Stage 9 inner chi. Huh? Qinfen slightly raised his eyebrows. His gaze was fixed on the young man behind the Snow Mountain sect elder. The man was dressed in a white robe. His sideburns reached his chest, and he had a pair of sword-like eyebrows. He stood there like a cold and unfathomable swordsman. Qinfen knew this man. Wasn't he Wen Yiming, whom he met during the exploration of the Ghost Mountain ancient martial arts ruins in the capital? Qinfen even gave him the azure-tipped sword. When he explored the Ghost Mountain, Wen Yiming was a Stage 8 inner chi expert. After not seeing him for a few months, Qinfen discovered that brother had broken through to the early stage of Stage 9 inner chi, reaching the same realm as him. So, Wen Yiming is a disciple of the Snow Mountain sect, one of the 5 hidden hegemons. It seems that the hidden hegemons are indeed filled with experts. Qinfen was somewhat excited to see Wen Yiming here, but he didn't go up to greet him. After all, he was now using the identity of Zheng Shuai. While the crowd was discussing, the elders of the 4 sects led their disciples over to the Starlight sect. They acted as if they couldn't hear the discussion. Alliance leader Ling Daozi, we are late. Please forgive us. An elder of the Snow Mountain sect spoke first. The elders and disciples of the other sects all nodded at Ling Daozi. Ling Daozi didn't put on much airs at this moment. He chuckled and said, Elder Wen is too serious. Everyone came at the right time. The auction has just begun. Ling Daozi bowed slightly to the elder of the Snow Mountain sect and swept his gaze over the other elders. Elder 1 of the Snow Mountain sect was nicknamed White Hair One. He was only in his 40s, but he already had a head full of white hair. Rumor had it that Elderwin's hair had turned white when he was 30 years old. At that time, he wholeheartedly comprehended the way of the sword and achieved great success in the way of the sword overnight. However, his black hair also turned white overnight. Elderwin raised his hand and said, "Then, Alliance leader Ling Daozi, please continue to host the meeting." Ling Daozi nodded. He walked from the crowd to the display racks and pressed a red button on the display rack. The glass surrounding the racks slowly retracted. The thousands of treasures on the two display racks were displayed in front of everyone's eyes. They were within reach and immediately caused a wave of exclamations. There were so many treasures in front of them, but no one dared to act recklessly. Everyone only cried out a few times to vent their emotions. After all, the 5 hidden hegemons were here. Anyone who dared to snatch the treasures would be beheaded in the next second. Ling Daozi waited for everyone's cries to gradually die down before he said, "All right, I believe everyone can't wait any longer. Then let the auction begin. Let's start with the auction of the lowest item." Ling Daozi walked to one of the display racks. Everyone's gaze fell on the lowest item. The quality of the treasures on this floor was relatively low. Basically, no one present would be interested in them. Although there were a lot of treasures on the display shelves, the auction speed was very fast. In less than 10 minutes, the auction of the items at the bottom of the first display shelf had ended. Only the treasures were sold, and no one bid for the other items. Ling Daozi went to the second display rack and began to auction the treasure on the lowest item. Qin Feng stood there. The strange jet-black rock that he had his eyes on was also on the display rack on this level. "This is a grade 2 blood chi pill. Does anyone want to bid for it?" Ling Daozi inquired about the items one by one. The blood chi pill was sold in the St. Medic Hall in every martial artist town. Moreover, the price of the blood chi pill was not much lower than the St. Medic Halls, so no one wanted to bid for it. Ling Daozi took out the blood chi pill and returned it to its owner. Then, he moved on to the next item. Along the way, he finally reached the strange rock that Qin Feng had his eyes on. Ling Daozi glanced at the big, jet-black rock, and a trace of disdain flashed across his eyes. He skipped over the rock and moved on to the next item. This is a long sword forged with black iron as the main material. It contains a small amount of frost iron. It can be considered a semi-spiritual weapon. The starting price is 500,000. Does anyone want to bid for it? Ling Daozi pointed at a black longsword. The surrounding martial artists shook their heads. Everyone wanted a spiritual weapon to use as a weapon. This kind of weapon could be bought directly from a blacksmith shop. Wait, why isn't that rock being auctioned? Qin Feng suddenly asked without waiting for anyone to speak. Everyone's gaze fell on Qin Feng. He could be considered a celebrity tonight. First, he gave away free chi strengthening pills in public. Then, he flirted with a great beauty like Dongfang Qin Shui. Many people in the crowd recognized Qin Feng. Then a wave of sighs broke out. Judging from Qin Feng's attitude when he gave away the grade 4 chi strengthening pills for free, he was a very powerful and reclusive expert in everyone's hearts. Who would have thought that Qin Feng would be interested in a lousy rock? This action was truly beyond everyone's expectations. Ling Daozi and the 2 elders behind him were stunned. The 3 of them had been watching Qin Feng all night. They were waiting to make their move after the auction. Ling Daozi didn't expect Qin Feng to suddenly be interested in that lousy rock. Could it be that there was something mysterious about this rock? Chapter 10:27. Ling Daozi couldn't find anything special about this stone after studying it for a while. He pretended not to know Qin Feng and said indifferently, "Are you sure you want to bid for this broken stone?" "That's right. I've always liked to collect rocks. It's a quirk of mine." Qin Feng casually made up a cover to avoid everyone's suspicion. "The starting price of this stone is 10,000 yuan. You can raise the price now," Ling Daozi said. Before Qin Feng could speak, a young warrior suddenly ran out of the crowd. He was a disciple of the Sky Mountain sect, based on his attire. "Alliance Master Ling Daozi, young hero. I'm the one who placed this stone here for auction. Previously, young hero gave me a chi strengthening pill for free. Since young hero has taken a liking to this lousy stone, how can I take your money? I'll give it to young hero for free. Ling Daozi was stunned. He looked at Qin Feng and waited for his opinion. Qin Feng said with a smile, "Then I won't be unreasonable. May I know your name? You can find me when you have time in the future." The man was overjoyed and said excitedly, "Young hero, I'm Chun Fan, a disciple of the Sky Mountain sect." Qin Feng nodded, but he didn't leave his name because it was useless to leave his identity as Zheng Shuai. The reason why Qin Feng asked for Chun Fan's name was not to be polite. This stone was brought by Chun Fan. Qin Feng planned to have a chat with Chun Fan after the treasure inspection convention to find out how he obtained this stone. Chun Fan had already given the stone to Qin Feng with a smile. Qin Feng chatted with Chun Fan for a while, and then took the stone to a corner where there was no one. The auction was still going on, and the atmosphere was getting more and more heated. This was because the items auctioned later on were rarer and rarer treasures. The venue was filled with screams, and more people were bidding. Their minds were on the treasures on the two shelves, and no one paid attention to Qin Feng in the corner. As Qin Feng sat on the chair, he had already used his mind to sense the stone. The originally pitch-black and ordinary stone unexpectedly emitted waves of spiritual energy. Moreover, the emerald spirit ring on Qin Feng's finger also began to vibrate. Obviously, this stone was the treasure that the emerald spirit ring had identified. "Little pig, this stone seems a little strange. Is it a Saint Soul stone?" Qin Feng held the stone and studied it for a while, but he couldn't figure it out. "Master, the Saint Soul stone needs blood to be activated. Before it's activated, it's just like a normal stone," Little Pig said. Qin Feng's eyes lit up, and he immediately took out the bloodthirst blade and made a cut on his index finger. Blood flowed and dripped onto the jet black stone. This ordinary stone suddenly changed. The surface of the stone seemed to breathe, and it instantly absorbed all of Qin Feng's blood. In the blink of an eye, the surface of the stone returned to its original state, as if it had never been stained with blood. Buzz! A strange energy wave spread out from the stone, causing the emerald spirit ring to shake violently. At a speed visible to the naked eye, the jet-black stone began to shed its skin. The black outer layer completely fell off, and the inside shone with a golden light, as if it was a lump of gold. Saint Soul stone after dripping a drop of blood into it. It could merge with the Blood Kaiser's consciousness. It was a great material for crafting high-grade divine weapons. After the jet-black stone completely transformed into a golden stone, the emerald spirit ring identified the nature of the stone. It turned out to be a Saint Soul stone. Qin Feng was extremely excited. He had opened the limited edition interface of the system a few months ago. In order to craft the cosmic flying sword, he had collected materials for half a year. Now that he had collected all the materials, Qin Feng couldn't wait to craft the cosmic flying sword. "Master, you don't have enough spirit stones now. I suggest you get more, just in case." Crafting a spiritual weapon required spirit stones, especially an immortal weapon like the cosmic flying sword. It required a large amount of spirit stones as the energy source for crafting. Qin Feng had collected a large amount of spirit stones in the Ghost Mountain ancient martial ruins. However, he had used up a lot of them when he stored the spiritual weapons in the Million Treasure Pavilion, so he didn't have much left. The next auction item is an orange-grade meteor hammer. The starting price is 20 million and a white-grade spiritual sword. The auction was in full swing, and the treasures on the highest level of the display racks had already been auctioned off. There were many good items on this level. There were even orange-grade spiritual weapons. However, most of the spiritual weapons were rarely used weapons like the meteor hammer. Only the disciples of sects who specialized in this type of weapon would fight for them. Qin Feng put away the Saint Soul stone and returned to the side of the display racks. There were hundreds of spirit stones on the highest level. The lowest quality of these spirit stones was a medium-grade spirit stone. However, hundreds of spirit stones were auctioned off together. No individual spirit stones would be sold. This was a big deal. The value of hundreds of spirit stones was higher than a blue-grade spiritual weapon. The orange-grade meteor hammer had already been auctioned off. It was bought by the leader of the Meteor Gang at a high price. The Meteor Gang used the Meteor Hammer. The leader's weapon was an ordinary weapon that couldn't be shown in public. Now that he had obtained an orange-gray Meteor Hammer, he was so excited that he almost fainted. The next item is 100 medium-grade and high-grade spirit stones. These spirit stones have to be bought in one go. They won't be auctioned separately. The starting price is 100 million and an orange-grade spiritual sword. As soon as Ling Daozi finished speaking, a wave of exclamations sounded from the crowd. The 100 spirit stones were enough to attract the crowd. Moreover, the price of the spirit stones was astonishing. 100 million and an orange-grade spiritual sword was the starting price. This was the highest starting price of the auction tonight. However, even though the price was high, the 100 spirit stones were still quite popular. This was because for cultivators, spirit stones were like the temptation of delicacies for ordinary people. These cultivators relied on the spirit energy in spirit stones to speed up their cultivation. Moreover, spirit stones were also used in array formations, refining weapons, and concocting pills. After a short silence, someone in the crowd raised the price. It was Elder Nyo of the Flame Sect. 110 million and an orange-grade spiritual sword. Qinfen was slightly surprised. He didn't care about the Flame Sect at all. He didn't expect such a small sect to have so much money. Qinfen felt that he had underestimated the power of the outer martial world. 130 million and an orange-grade spiritual sword from the outer sect. As soon as Elder Nyo finished speaking, a new voice came from the crowd. The crowd looked over and sighed. It was a bald monk from the Shaolin Temple who was raising the price. 150 million and an orange-grade spiritual sword from the outer sect. The Immerse sect also joined the bidding. It seemed that the temptation of 100 spirit stones was quite great. There was no fighting in the surroundings, but the smell of gunpowder filled the air. This auction was more brutal than a real fight. The faces of the elders who placed their bids were as dark as the bottom of a pot. In a short while, the price of 100 spirit stones had been raised to 200 million. However, no one had added an orange equipment spirit sword as a bargaining chip. After all, money was just a worldly possession to these martial artists. However, treasures like spirit weapons were also very rare to them. Currently, the ones still bidding were 3 of the 5 Chinese sections. In front of them, the small sects that had previously spoken up had long since shut their mouths. Competing with the 5 Chinese sects in terms of funds and resources was definitely asking for trouble. 300 million and 2 orange-grade spiritual swords. Seeing that the Taoist nun from the Immerse sect was about to win this auction, a cold voice came from the crowd. Everyone was startled and looked over. There was a group of people standing in the northwest corner of the hall. The martial artists around these people consciously gave them some space as if they were afraid of them. Qinfen also looked over. This group of people wore green robes, and each of them was arrogant and unruly. They were the people from Ice Lake Mountain, one of the 5 hegemons of the inner hidden sects. No one expected the female elder of Ice Lake Mountain to suddenly bid. This time, the elders of the Immerse sect, Shaolin Temple, and Kunlun sect lost their confidence. In front of the inner hidden sects, the 5 sects of China did not dare to act rashly. Under the crowd's gaze, the female elder of Ice Lake Mountain walked to the display shelf. She was a woman of unknown age. Her green robes fluttered even though there was no wind. Her face was so beautiful that many people stared at her and admired her beauty. However, they only admired her beauty. No one dared to show a trace of vulgarity or disrespect. This was because most of the people present had heard of this elder of Ice Lake Mountain. Her name was Elder Qianwan Tong. It was said that she was an old woman in her 50s. However, her fair and supple skin was more delicate than an 18-year-old girl's. Rumor had it that she was a Stage 9 inner chi expert. When Elder Qianwan Tong arrived, the crowd instantly felt pressured. An invisible aura enveloped the hall, making it hard for everyone to breathe. I bid 300 million and 2 orange-grade spiritual swords. If anyone still wants to compete with me, I'll keep you company until the end. Elder Qian Tong looked around. Her voice was calm, but it was filled with irresistible majesty. The elders of Shaolin Temple, Immerse sect, and Kunlun sect immediately gave in. The Immerse nun who was about to win the auction lowered her head and did not dare to look at Elder Qian Tong. She could only suppress the anger in her heart. The hall suddenly became quiet. Everyone understood that under the pressure of Ice Lake Mountain, no one dared to compete for the 100 spiritual stones. Moreover, Ice Lake Mountain's bid was absolutely high. Putting aside the 300 million, just the 2 orange-grade spiritual swords were enough to suppress everyone. After the audience fell silent for 5 seconds, Ling Daozi had already stepped forward and was about to announce the result of the 1,000 Illusion Child's bid for 100 spirit stones. However, at this moment, a cold voice rang out. 400 million, plus 2 orange-grade spirit swords, swoosh. The originally quiet hall suddenly burst into an uproar. Seeing that Ice Lake Mountain had already won the auction, no one expected that a new competitor would suddenly appear at this time. Everyone looked over at the source of the voice. They really wanted to see which sect disciple was so reckless and dared to compete with Elder Qian Tong. Even if he won the auction now, could he really bring the 100 spiritual stones out of Devil City? Chapter 1028. It's that young hero? It's over, it's over. This young hero is in big trouble today. Is he really a new disciple of the Azure Moon Shrine? I don't believe it. Not long ago, he gave away a grade 4 chi strengthening pill for free. Then he flirted with the goddess. Now he's challenging Elder Qian Tong in public. He's too domineering. The crowd was filled with murderous discussions. The person who raised the bid was Qin Feng, and it shocked everyone. The people of Ice Lake Mountain were already looking at Qin Feng. The disciples' eyes were filled with murderous intent. 1,000 Illusion Child's eyes were wide open, and he gritted his teeth as he glared at Qin Feng. It was as if he was going to kill Qin Feng in the next second. Qin Feng's expression did not change as he stood among the crowd. He had observed that the most powerful person here was only at the peak of stage 9 inner chi. Although Qin Feng was not confident that he could defeat his opponent, he had no problem escaping. Others might be afraid of Elder Qian Tong, but Qin Feng was not afraid of her. Besides, Qin Feng did not want to go against Ice Lake Mountain on purpose. He had his eyes on the 100 spirit stones and was about to use them to forge the galaxy flying sword. After a while, the crowd fell into a dead silence. Everyone held their breath and looked at Qin Feng and Elder Qian Tong. They were afraid that the old woman would suddenly attack them. Dongfang Qin Shui's face turned pale with fright. The sect leader of Qin Yuan's sect had a bitter expression on his face. Qin Feng had brought the Azure Moon Shrine into the limelight, and now he had dragged the Azure Moon Shrine into the water with him. He had attracted such a powerful enemy. The sect leader of Qin Yuan's sect did not know what to say. Interesting, very interesting. It's been a long time since Ice Lake Mountain has met a rival in the auction. I wonder which sect you are from. You want to compete with me? After a long silence, Elder Qian Tong suddenly laughed. She only took one step forward, but she appeared in front of Qin Feng in the blink of an eye. Her miraculous move drew gasps from the crowd. Qin Feng saw it clearly, but he was impressed by the old woman's speed. Even though he was only 1 meter away from Elder Qian Tong, Qin Feng was still calm and collected. There's no rule that participants have to report their name and sect information, right? If you want to raise the bid, just say it. If you don't dare to come, just withdraw. Why are you being so wishy-washy? Qin Feng opened his mouth leisurely, but everyone was stupefied. The Qin Yuan sect leader, the 2 female disciples, and Chun Hai were so scared that they wanted to run away. This Qin Feng was too ruthless. He didn't give Ice Lake Mountain any face. On the other hand, Dongfang Qin Shui was so anxious that she gnashed her teeth. She cursed Qin Feng to death in her heart. This bastard just loves to act pretentious and doesn't care about the situation at all. Almost all the sects in the outer martial arts world had gathered in the hall. Everyone had different expressions on their faces. Tonight, they had truly witnessed what it meant to be awesome. The disciples of Ice Lake Mountain all came behind Elder Qian Huan Tong. Their bodies exploded with a strong aura. As long as Elder Qian Huan Tong gave the order, the disciples would kill Qin Feng in the next second. The Elder Qian family was the sect. How long had it been since someone dared to talk back to her? Yin Realm Qian Tian sect, Qin said after he shi Qin Chan Chan, Yin 500 million, Ting Yang comma I with Feng, I Tian Ling Feng I 500 million plus 3 orange-grade spiritual weapons. A moment later, the 1,000 illusion child squeezed out a few words from between his teeth. The Ice Lake sect disciples' faces were cold. Originally, the price of 100 spiritual stones was 300 million and 2 spiritual swords. But now the price had almost doubled. Qin Feng sighed inwardly. The inner hidden sects were indeed rich in resources. 3 orange-grade spiritual swords were not a small matter, and they also had 500 million. It seemed like they were just playing around. Qin Feng now had Su Qin Pharmaceuticals and Royal Group, as well as the Holy Medic Hall, the Divine Armament Hall, and the Qin family in the provincial capital as his backers. Qin Feng didn't fear money at all, and he had the hedonist sovereign system. However, Elder Qian Huan Tong was obviously against Qin Feng. If this continued, neither side would benefit. 600 million and 3 orange-grade spiritual equipment. Qin Feng was prepared to raise the bid a few more times. After all, he was in urgent need of large amounts of spiritual stones. Everyone was shocked by Qin Feng's extravagance. They were all discussing Qin Feng's identity. What kind of sect disciple could have the power to challenge Ice Lake sect? 1,000 illusion child's face became colder and colder, and his eyes became bloodshot. This woman had delicate skin and looked like an 18-year-old girl. But Qin Feng wasn't fooled by her appearance. This old woman was a seductress who had lived for more than 50 years. She was a shrewd woman. She had lived for a long time. Brat, you really don't know what's good for you. Since that's the case, Ice Lake sect will play with you to the end. I want to see what you can do. Elder Qian Huan Tong was completely enraged by Qin Feng. He roared, 1 billion and 5 orange-grade spiritual equipment. Whoosh! This price was too shocking. The entire hall was in an uproar. 1 billion and 5 orange-grade spiritual equipment? This price was more than enough to buy 150 high-grade spirit stones. Everyone understood that the Ice Lake Mountain Elder did not care about the bidding price at all. She just wanted to vent her anger. Qin Feng was also shocked. He didn't expect this old woman to be so easily angered. She suddenly became popular. Although Qin Feng could afford this price, he was more rational. He knew that this price was a great loss for him, so he wouldn't continue bidding. He had made up his mind. At most, he would let Ice Lake Mountain buy the spirit stones first, and then he would find a chance to snatch them from the Ice Lake Mountain. TSK. Ice Lake sect is indeed one of the hidden 5 hegemons. My horizons have been broadened today. Amazing, truly amazing. Qin Feng gave Elder Qian Huan Tong a thumbs up. This scene confused everyone. They didn't know what Qin Feng meant. Don't talk so much nonsense. Aren't you very arrogant? Increase the price if you can. No matter how much you increase it, I'll play with you to the end. Qin Feng didn't believe Qian Huan Child's words. This woman was obviously a sinister and vile person. Just as Qin Feng had guessed, Qian Huan Child had already calculated in her heart. She deliberately raised the price so high. As long as Qin Feng raised the price again, Qian Huan Child would immediately withdraw from the auction. She wanted Qin Feng to pay a hefty price. Then, after the treasure appraisal conference, she would kill Qin Feng and rob him for Ice Lake Mountain. This was something they often played around with. Chapter 1029. As soon as Qin Feng's words fell, everyone was stunned. The disciples of Ice Lake Mountain gaped at Qin Feng's words. Elder Qian Huan Tong's face turned green. She never thought that Qin Feng would back down. This brat did not play by the rules. What did you say? You're not bidding anymore? Elder Qian Huan Tong regained her composure after a long while. Qin Feng smiled and said, yeah, as the great elder of Ice Lake Mountain, you're determined to win this auction. Why should I continue bidding with you? Why don't I do you a favor and take these 100 spirit stones. You've taken advantage of me. If I need your Ice Lake Mountains land after this, don't say no." Qin Feng's bright smile made Elder Qian Huan Tong's blood boil. She was so angry that she almost vomited blood. "You, how can you give up the auction? Hurry up and increase the price. How dare you argue with Ice Lake Mountain with such little capability? You're a disgrace." Using 1 billion yuan and 5 orange-grade spiritual weapons to purchase 100 spiritual stones was a losing deal. Elder Qian Huan Tong wanted to cheat Qin Feng, but she had dug a big hole and jumped into it herself. She was now using all kinds of methods to provoke Qin Feng. If Qin Feng increased the price by 1 cent, Elder Qian Huan Tong would immediately withdraw from the auction. The crowd sighed in amazement. Everyone understood that Qin Feng was toying with the Grand Elder of Ice Lake Mountain. He even dared to tease Ice Lake Mountain, one of the hidden 5 hegemons. Everyone was shocked, speechless by Qin Feng's guts. "Don't worry, I won't increase the price. I'm a man of my word. Since I've agreed to give Ice Lake Mountain face, I won't compete with you for the treasure. You should buy it yourself." Qin Feng looked at Elder Qian Huan Tong with a smile. She was so angry that her nose was crooked. Elder Qian Huan Tong could tell that she had been cheated by this young brat. Ice Lake Mountain had been in the martial arts world for hundreds of years, and this was the first time she had encountered such a humiliating situation. Elder Qian Huan Tong released a powerful gust of air, as if she was going to attack Qin Feng at any time. Cough, cough. Elder Qian Huan, since this brother has withdrawn from the bidding, the 100 spiritual stones belong to Ice Lake Mountain. Elder Qian Huan, please go through the relevant procedures with the disciples of Star Sect. Ling Daozi had already sensed the murderous aura of the 1,000 Illusion Child. He could not allow Bing Hushan to act recklessly. This treasure inspection convention was managed by the Starlight Sect. If something really happened, how could the Starlight Sect maintain their reputation in the martial arts world? Moreover, Ling Daozi knew Qin Feng's identity. He still wanted to personally capture Qin Feng after the treasure convention was over. The atmosphere in the hall instantly fell to the bottom, and the surrounding air began to freeze. The disciples of Ice Lake Mountain were furious. Qian Huan Tong clenched her teeth so hard that they almost broke. But in the end, she released her inner qi and glared at Qin Feng. Then, she turned around and followed the disciples of Starlight Sect to go through the procedures. The moment 1,000 Illusion Child left, everyone was panting. Everyone was almost suffocated by the aura released by the people from Ice Lake Mountain. Qin Feng did not care about it at all. In fact, he felt a little pleased. Isn't he just one of the 5 hidden hegemons? What's so great about him? The auction continued, but none of the treasures caught Qin Feng's attention. He went to a corner and rested. Once the treasure inspection convention was over, he would secretly follow the people from Ice Lake Mountain and get the 100 spirit stones back to him. Translator's notes: 1. Damn it. That brat is too arrogant. How dare he go against Ice Lake Mountain? Is he tired of living? Elder Qian Huan, we can't let that brat go. Otherwise, Ice Lake Mountain will become a joke in the martial arts world. I've investigated just now. That bastard really hid his identity well. Nobody in this hall knows his identity. Some people said that he is a new disciple of the Azure Moon Shrine. That's bullshit. How dare a disciple of the Azure Moon Shrine offend Ice Lake Mountain? The disciples of Ice Lake Mountain gathered together and complained. Elder Qian Huan Tong handed over the orange-grade spiritual sword and walked out with the 100 spiritual stones. All of you, shut up. Even now, 1,000 Illusion Child was still suppressing a belly full of anger. He directly vented his anger on the group of disciples. The disciples trembled in fear and immediately quieted down. Elder Qian Huan Tong threw the bag of spiritual stones to one of the disciples and said coldly, "You too, keep an eye on that brat. When the treasure inspection convention is over, I want him to disappear from the face of the earth." The moment Elder Qian Huan Child gave the order, all the Ice Lake Mountain disciples were extremely excited. 2 of them immediately stared at Qin Feng, who was in the corner. They kept their eyes on Qin Feng, afraid that he would run away in the next second. "Are you crazy? Why did you offend the people of Ice Lake Mountain? Dongfang Qin Shui anxiously ran to Qin Fun and sat opposite him. Qin Fun quickly pushed Dongfang Qin Shui away and said sternly, "Don't come near me. Get away from me." Dongfang Qin Shui was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. She came to Qin Fun out of kindness, but this was his attitude? "Don't touch me. I can walk on my own. You've offended the people of Ice Lake Mountain, so you'll have to collect your own corpse." Dongfang Qin Shui stomped her feet angrily and returned to the crowd of the Blue Moon Observatory. Qin Fun shook his head with a bitter smile. He must be in great danger tonight. That was why he purposely angered Dongfang Qin Shui. Otherwise, he would bring a fatal disaster to this Missy. The auction continued for another 2 hours. The thousands of treasures on the 2 display racks were sold. Ling Daozi stood impatiently in the crowd and shouted, "Heroes of the martial arts world, tonight's treasure inspection convention will end here. There are still 2 more treasure inspection conventions tomorrow and the night after. Those who didn't get any treasures tonight, don't be disappointed. I believe there will be treasures that you'll like tomorrow and the day after." After Ling Daozi finished his speech, the crowd started to disperse. Qin Fun quickly blended into the crowd and walked out. As soon as he moved, he realized that the people of Ice Lake Mountain were following him. Thousands of martial artists swarmed out. The scene was extremely chaotic. Qin Fun blended into the crowd and kept changing his position. However, the disciples of Ice Lake Mountain were all true experts. They followed Qin Fun all the way and were not shaken off. At this time, Qin Fun had reached the open space outside of Chuan Central Restaurant. The moonlight was cold, and the surroundings were gloomy. Qin Fun flew all the way and arrived at the abandoned buildings in Demon City after a few minutes. Bang! A muffled sound came from behind Qin Fun. A small pit appeared on the ground where he had just landed. Following that, an angry voice came from behind. "Stinking brat! How dare you trick your mother? You're courting death." As soon as the voice died away, a shadow appeared beside Qin Fun. It was the Thousand Illusion Child of Ice Lake Mountain. As for the Stage 8 Inner Chi disciples of Ice Lake Mountain, they were left far behind. Rumble! With no time to think, Qin Fun flipped his hand and shot out a ball of destructive fire. The flames soared and exploded in the gale. It instantly lit up the empty space behind Qin Fun. Small tricks. Tonight, I'll show you the power of Ice Lake Mountain. The Thousand Illusion Child didn't dodge the destructive fire at all. Suddenly, a layer of turbulent inner chi barrier appeared around her. The fireball crashed around her, but it couldn't get close to her. At this time, the playful expression on the Thousand Illusion Child's face suddenly changed. He was shocked. This isn't the flame of a demon cultivator? Could it be the raging true chi fire? You've stepped into the true energy stage? The Thousand Illusion Child and Ling Daozi were both experts at the peak of Stage 9 Inner Chi. Ling Daozi had underestimated Qin Fun's destructive fire. They saw that Qin Fun was young and obviously couldn't break through the true energy stage. They thought it was the flame released by a demon cultivator. However, the intensity of the flame was so hot that it almost burned the airflow around the Thousand Illusion Child. Raging true chi fire is nothing. Have a taste of this grandpa's flame. Qin Fun clapped his hands and shot out another 3 fireballs. The Thousand Illusion Child's expression changed drastically. She didn't dare to underestimate the power of the destructive fire anymore. She didn't resist it head-on. Her slender figure moved quickly in the dark night. In Qin Fun's eyes, she became a phantom. Her speed was so fast that it was astonishing. Elder Thousand Illusion, stinking brat, quickly surrender. Kneel on the ground and kowtow to Ice Lake Mountain and admit your mistake. Qin Fun and the Thousand Illusion Child fought several rounds before the genius disciples of Ice Lake Mountain arrived. As soon as they arrived, they started to clamor. Qin Fun didn't say anything and shot a fireball at them. Rumble! The air exploded continuously. The 6 disciples of Ice Lake Mountain sneered. Clearly, they thought that the destructive fire was an ordinary demonic cultivator's fire. 2 of the disciples leaped towards the destructive fire. This scene scared the Thousand Illusion Child so much that he quickly shouted, "Come back! That flame, rumble. Before the thousand illusion child could finish his sentence, the destructive fire had already ignited the two disciples who rushed toward them. The flame rose to a height of 4 to 5 meters. The two disciples couldn't be seen clearly in the flame. Only their heart-wrenching screams could be heard. The remaining 4 disciples who didn't rush toward them were dumbfounded. 5 of them were Stage 8 inner chi experts, and 1 was Stage 9 inner chi expert. The 2 disciples who were burned to death were Stage 8 inner chi experts. These experts were usually arrogant in the martial arts world, but now they were as weak as ants. Ah! You bastard! How dare you burn the disciples of Ice Lake Mountain to death? I'll skin you alive and pull out your tendons. The thousand illusion child was enraged. He roared and pounced toward Qin Fun. The thousand illusion child was a Stage 9 inner chi expert. His speed was so fast that Qin Fun didn't even have time to react. He was hit in the chest and was sent flying into an abandoned villa. Rumble. As soon as Qin Fun landed, explosions came from all around the villa. The thousand illusion child's graceful and curvaceous figure landed on a roof. She waved her jade-like hands and created hundreds of afterimages like the thousand-armed Guanyin. It was a very strange scene. Bang, bang, bang. Each afterimage seemed to contain a surge of inner chi, and they constantly bombarded the villa. The villa that Qin Fun fell into was reduced to rubble in no time. Bricks, tiles, and rebars were piled up together. The scene was like an earthquake. P.S. I recommend a novel by my friend. Punishing Heaven and Proving Tao, author, quietly hiding introduction. I've seen people who traveled to another world and became kings because of their golden fingers. But have you seen the overlord of another world who traveled to another world and met a golden finger by chance? As long as you can't think of it, you can do it. As for the introduction, Chapter 10:30. Rumble. Loud explosions rang out one after another. This was how the name Thousand Illusion Child came to be. Her thousand illusory palm was extremely powerful and fast. Even a Stage 9 inner chi expert would have a headache trying to deal with it. The Ice Lake Mountain disciples stood at the side and didn't even dare to breathe loudly. They still hadn't recovered from the shock of seeing 2 Stage 8 inner chi disciples being burned to death. Just now in the Sichuan restaurant, these Ice Lake Mountain disciples looked down on Qin Feng and thought that he was a rookie. Now, they realized that Qin Feng was an opponent on the same level as Elder Qianhuan. Crackle. Just when everyone thought that Qin Feng had been slapped to death by Elder Qianhuan, a purple light suddenly streaked across the sky. The purple light was much faster than Elder Qianhuan's palm. In the blink of an eye, the purple light condensed into a net and covered Elder Qianhuan's head. Boom! The Ice Lake Mountain disciples cried out in alarm. Before they could warn Elder Qianhuan, they saw Elder Qianhuan being struck by the purple lightning. His porcelain white skin had turned into charcoal. Bang! Bang! The purple lightning fell and was followed by a few more claps of thunder. 3 whip shadows descended from the sky. However, they weren't purple lightning. Instead, they were flickering with blue light. No one knew when Qin Feng had appeared above the Ice Lake Mountain disciples from the ruins. He held the blue spirit snake whip in his hand. The whip shadows turned into a screen and struck 2 of them. Be careful. Everyone be careful. The only Stage 9 inner chi expert among the disciples leaped and dodged Qin Feng's whip shadows. At the same time, he pulled the stunned disciple to the side. As soon as he landed, the disciple drew the long sword on his back and slashed it in the air. Sword light flashed. The Stage 9 inner chi disciple had already launched a fierce attack. The other Stage 8 inner chi disciple also started to assist. Their sword chi temporarily blocked Qin Feng's spirit snake whip. The battle was extremely intense. A black shadow flashed and appeared. The originally cold and arrogant Elder Qianhuan's green robe was now in tatters. More than half of her skin was exposed. She looked extremely alluring. I, Elder Qianhuan, have roamed the martial arts world for dozens of years. I've never been in such a sorry state like today. I swear I won't rest until I kill you today. The Thousand Illusion Child was completely forced into a corner by Qin Feng. He did not care about the exposed spring light on his body and flew towards Qin Feng with his palm. The hundreds of illusory palms turned into 1,000 palms. The Thousand Illusion Palm had been unleashed to the extreme by the Thousand Illusion Child. The surging inner chi that covered the sky and covered the earth made Qin Feng feel a chill in his heart. The two Ice Lake Mountain disciples were scared silly. Rumble, rumble. Thousands of palms rained down, and most of them hit the ground and abandoned houses. The buildings within a radius of several dozen meters collapsed with a loud rumble, and the ground shook violently. In this area, it was as if there was an earthquake. Qin Feng had no space to hide at all. He was hit by tens of palms and sunk into a large, deep pit. The Thousand Illusion Child had already landed and walked to the edge of the pit. The two disciples from Ice Lake Mountain didn't dare to follow. Elder Qian Huan's clothes weren't covering his body. They didn't dare to look at things they shouldn't be looking at. Standing at the edge of the pit, the Thousand Illusion Child looked down and saw Qin Feng lying in the center of the pit. He was vomiting blood. The destructive attack had caused great damage to Qin Feng. He didn't even have the strength to stand up. Oomph. I thought you were strong. You're just a stage 9 inner chi cultivator. How dare you go against me with this level of strength? I'll make you wish you were dead. The Thousand Illusion Child's eyes were spitting fire. Qin Feng was lying in the pit. He struggled to support his body and said, "Stop bragging. You've lost all your clothes after being beaten by me. How dare you embarrass yourself here? Your big rabbit is not bad, and its legs are long and slender. Why don't you come down and let me play with you?" Qin Feng couldn't stand an old Taoist nun acting arrogantly in front of him. Even if he couldn't defeat this old hag, he still wanted to anger her to death. Sure enough, the Thousand Illusion Child's long hair fluttered in the wind. His chest rose and fell, and Qin Feng felt refreshed. "You want to play with me? Wait another 500 years." Qian Huantong raised his palm angrily and quickly condensed a ball of inner chi in his palm. Qin Feng thought of a way to escape as he shouted, "It won't take 500 years. I'll say it now. I'll take your body by force within 50 days. Go to hell, you bastard." The Thousand Illusion Child was so angry that his eyeballs were about to explode. He suddenly slammed his palm into the pit. Qin Feng was about to release Ouyang Feng from the pit and teach him a lesson when a black shadow flashed by and dragged Qin Feng into the pit. The black shadow was so fast that it shocked Qin Feng. Even the Thousand Illusion Child couldn't match this speed. This was definitely an expert who surpassed the peak of stage 9 inner chi. Rumble. Qin Feng was dragged dozens of meters away by the black shadow. Only then did Elder Thousand Illusion Child's palm strike land in the deep pit. Loud noises resounded continuously. The huge pit sank a few meters deep. Rocks tumbled down, and it looked like a big black hole. "Who are you? How dare you obstruct Ice Lake Mountain's business? Show yourself." The Thousand Illusion Child landed on the roof of a house after the Thousand Illusion Child's palm landed. She was panicking because the black shadow that took Qin Feng away was too fast. Even the Thousand Illusion Child felt that she was no match for the black shadow. "I want this brat. Leave now, and I'll spare your lives." An aged voice came from the void. The quality of the voice was obviously altered. It sounded like two pieces of metal rubbing against each other, sending chills down one's spine. The Thousand Illusion Child's face was so cold that it was about to drip water. "How could you let Qin Feng go? This brat had cheated her tonight and even verbally harassed her. She wanted nothing more than to hack Qin Feng into 1,000 pieces to vent her anger." Looking in the direction of the sound, Qian Huan Child did not see anyone. The two disciples of Ice Lake Mountain were already trembling with fear. They had thought that their strength was strong enough in the outer martial arts world. Only tonight did they realize how powerful and dangerous the outer martial arts world was. That brat ruined Ice Lake Mountain's business. I'll tear him into 1,000 pieces. You better hand him over or you'll be going against Ice Lake Mountain. Although she was afraid, the Thousand Illusion Child couldn't just retreat. If she did, how would Ice Lake Mountain survive in the outer martial world? Rumble. The mysterious black shadow didn't say anything else. Suddenly, there was a loud noise in the air. No one saw the existence of a shadowy figure, but the attack had already arrived. Thousand Illusion Child's expression changed dramatically, and she hurriedly sent out 1,000 illusion palm to block. But after sending out a dozen palm strikes, she was sent flying by a powerful aura. Puffed. The moment she landed on the ground, the 1,000 Illusion Child spat out a mouthful of blood. The two disciples immediately rushed over. Elder 1,000 Illusion, are you all right? Elder, why don't we retreat first? It won't be too late to deal with that brat after we get reinforcements. The two disciples were scared. They just wanted to run away. The 1,000 Illusion Child was shocked. Although the black shadow only used one palm strike, the 1,000 Illusion Child clearly felt the powerful aura. This was no longer the strength of an inner energy stage. It was definitely an expert who had stepped into the true energy stage. Let's go. With the sudden appearance of a true energy stage expert, the 1,000 Illusion Child didn't dare to stay here no matter how sullen she was. The three of them quickly ran away. Behind them, the hoarse voice said, "If you want to live, leave the spirit stones behind." The three of them were stunned. The 1,000 Illusion Child's face was as black as the bottom of a pot. Of course, she knew what the black shadow meant by the spirit stones. It was the 100 spirit stones from the auction. The spirit stones were exchanged for 1 billion yuan and 5 orange-grade spiritual weapons. Just thinking about it made her feel sullen. Let's go. After a brief hesitation, the 1,000 Illusion Child threw the spirit stones on the ground. Compared to the spirit stones, she valued her life more. If she lost her life, why would she keep the 100 spirit stones to accompany her in death? The wind howled incessantly in the dark night. The 1,000 Illusion Child and the other two were extremely fast. In just a few breaths, they completely disappeared into the night. The surroundings fell silent, as if nothing had happened. A black-robed figure with his face covered landed on the ground. He casually threw Qin Feng, who was in his arms, to the side, then reached out to pick up the bag of spirit stones on the ground. Crackle! At this moment, a bolt of purple lightning suddenly struck. It affected the power of heaven and earth, as if it was going to split a deep trench in the ground. The person in the black robe who was about to touch the bag of spirit stones suddenly retreated. In the blink of an eye, he had retreated dozens of meters away. Qin Feng suddenly moved, grabbed the bag of spirit stones, and threw it into the emerald ring. Then, he ran towards the depths of the demon city without a moment's delay. Bastard, you're courting death. The elder in the black robe was tricked by Qin Feng. He was so angry that he tore off the black hat on his head. It was a dignified old face. It was the vice leader of the star sect, Ling Tianhai. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The air was filled with the sound of wind breaking. Qin Feng put on the blue-grade white cloud boots and ran like the wind. He ran until his legs were about to break. The black shadow behind him multiplied from 1 to 4. The three of them were still shouting at Qin Feng. Qin Feng, do you think we don't recognize you? I advise you to surrender. The two elders and the vice leader of the star sect are here to catch you. You can't escape today, even if you have wings. Ling Tianhai, Ling Yangzi, Aunt Ling Shui, and Ling Daozi were all here. Among the 4 of them, 3 were at the peak of stage 9 inner Qi, and Ling Tianhai was an expert at the true Qi stage. Qin Feng panicked. Even if he released Ouyang Feng and Shimin Chue Shui, they might not be able to defeat these 4 people. After all, Qin Feng was seriously injured just now. Bang! 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 The sound of wind breaking became louder and louder. Ling Tianhai increased his speed. It was like an arrow that left the bow, so fast that it shocked Qin Feng. The white cloud boots had pushed Qin Feng's speed to the limit, but he still couldn't outrun Ling Tianhai. Just as he was about to be caught by Ling Tianhai, a gust of cold wind suddenly blew, and the aura of hundreds of spirits shrouded them. Master, I'll stop them. You run. Chapter 1031. Qin Feng was anxious. He was afraid that Shaoli would appear at this time. Shaoli, run. Don't worry about me. Qin Fen roared and continued to accelerate forward. Xiao Li's lonely and slender figure remained where she was, staring motionlessly at the rapidly approaching Ling Tianhai. Whoosh whoosh. The chilly wind whistled past his ears, and the originally strong winds of the night suddenly blew up into a hurricane. The chilly wind quickly condensed, and like a tornado, it blew towards Ling Tianhai. The surrounding area was filled with the spirits summoned by Xiao Li, and the yin qi in this area was dense, as if they had fallen into hell. You dare to chase after Master? Xiao Li will fight with you. Xiao Li roared. Her appearance had completely changed. Her waist-length hair hung on top of her head, her eyes were blood red, and her entire body emitted a chilling aura. The chilly wind seemed to have turned black, devouring the light in the surroundings. In just a few breaths' time, the chilly wind formed a whirlpool that spun like a black hole, destroying the surrounding abandoned villas. Everyone be careful. This woman's cultivation method is very strange. Ling Tianhai's footsteps became sluggish and slowed down. Xiao Li was a ghost cultivator, an extremely rare type of cultivator in the cultivation world. Even for Ling Tianhai, it was his first time fighting a ghost cultivator. Even though he was a true Qi stage expert, he didn't dare to act blindly without thinking. Ling Tianhai and the other three stopped in front of the black hurricane. Seeing the hurricane approaching, the four of them were a little nervous. The yin qi around them became denser and denser. The thousands of silver soul qi enveloped the four of them. They felt the same as when Qin Feng encountered spirits for the first time. Xiao Li run. Qin Feng realized that Xiao Li hadn't left halfway, so he quickly pulled her back. Master, leave quickly, don't worry about Xiao Li. It's enough to know Master and be Master's maid in this life. Xiao Li was a stage 6 imp, which corresponded to the realm of orthodox stage 6 inner Qi cultivators. However, ghost cultivators were rarer and more powerful than devil cultivators and evil cultivators. Therefore, when Xiao Li erupted, she could even suppress a stage 8 inner Qi martial artist. With a single glance, Xiao Li could tell that Ling Tianhai and the other three were all top-notch experts. She knew that Qin Fen was doomed this time. Xiao Li was determined to sacrifice her life to buy more time for her master. This was the only way she could repay Qin Fen. What nonsense are you talking about? Come with me. Qin Fen pulled Xiao Li along and ran. Xiao Li began to struggle with tears in his eyes. Master, please let Xiao Li help you. Otherwise, we'll both die. Qin Feng's voice was cold as he roared. You don't even listen to your master? If we die together, then we die together. I can't just watch you die alone, right? Qin Feng circulated his inner qi, stepped on the white cloud boots, and dragged Xiao Li along as he ran. Ever since Xiao Li started cultivating the ghost cultivator's secret manual after her death, her heart had been sealed in ice. It had been a long time since she felt her heart beating, but at this moment, her heart was racing and her body was boiling hot. Tears streamed down Xiao Li's cheeks like raindrops. Her heart was indescribably touched. Qin Feng's words of "if we die together," made Xiao Li firmly believe that she had followed the right person. Master, I'm more familiar with this area. I'll bring you there. Xiao Li quickly calmed down. His figure flashed, and his speed was the same as Qin Feng's white cloud boots. He was already leading the way. Xiao Li, you're running so fast. Qin Feng was speechless. His current strength was at the early stage of stage 9 inner Qi, and his speed could reach the middle stage of stage 9 inner Qi. With the addition of the blue-grade white cloud boots, Qin Feng could even reach the late stage of stage 9 inner Qi. However, Xiao Li, a mere stage 6 ghost cultivator, was able to catch up to Qin Feng. Master, we ghost cultivators are special. We specialize in speed. Since our bodies are the weakest, we can only win in speed. Xiao Li explained to Qin Feng as she pulled Qin Feng and ran. Their current speed was like 6 sports cars at 200 kilometers per hour. Every time they made a left or right turn, it was like they were drifting. Vice Sect Leader Tianhai, there are too many small twists and turns in this area. That woman is obviously very familiar with this area. We can't keep chasing like this. Ling Daozi and the others were gradually being tricked. Ling Daozi shouted with a cold expression. Ling Tianhai also realized this disadvantage. Under Xiao Li's lead, Qin Feng and Xiao Li always overtook the small paths. Every time Ling Tianhai was about to catch up to them, he would suddenly be shaken off by a sharp turn. This area must be connected. Let's split up, and we'll definitely be able to block those two. Ling Tianhai was not stupid, so he quickly came up with a plan. As soon as he finished speaking, the four of them split up and prepared to surround Qin Feng and Xiao Li. Master, it seems like they've been shaken off. Xiao Li's breathing was somewhat rapid after running in the dark for an unknown amount of time. Qin Feng had just been injured, so he had to eat medicinal pills to support his body. If they continued to run like this, even Qin Feng wouldn't be able to bear it. It seems like only that true Qi stage old man is behind them. The other three have been shaken off. Qin Feng glanced behind him. He could still vaguely see Ling Tianhai's figure, but he couldn't see Ling Daozi and the two Star Sect elders. Both of them heaved a sigh of relief. Just as they were about to slow down and rest, Qin Feng's expression changed drastically. He carried Xiao Li and leaped into the small path beside them. Bang! A loud sound exploded at the place where Xiao Li had just been standing. A huge and deep pit appeared on the ground. Following that, Ling Daozi's figure flickered over. He brandished a long sword and said, Qin Feng, let's not waste any more time. Let's launch a sneak attack, and I'll leave your corpses intact. Bang, bang, bang. Along the way, sword lights flashed. As soon as Qin Feng and Xiao Li's feet left the ground, a small pit exploded on the ground. Xiao Li was so angry that her entire body turned gloomy and cold. That violent, chilly wind blew again and directly formed a hurricane behind the two of them. Ling Daozi's figure fell into the hurricane, and his vision became blurry. How could he continue to attack? Rumble. As soon as they ran out of the alley, Qin Feng hurriedly sent out a palm strike. Two balls of destructive fire lit up the sky. The Star Sect elder leaped and dodged the fireball, and at the same time sent a palm strike toward Xiao Li. Be careful. While Qin Feng shouted, he had already pushed Xiao Li away. That violent palm strike landed on Qin Feng's back. Qin Feng opened his mouth, and a large mouthful of blood fell onto the ground. Xiao Li was so frightened that she immediately cried. Master, are you all right? Qin Feng had just been injured by Thousand Illusion Child, and now he was struck by a Stage 9 Inner Chi Expert's palm strike. His body couldn't take it anymore, and his eyelids drooped heavily. Qin Feng touched Xiao Li's face and wiped away her tears. He said, Don't let them catch you. Hurry up and leave. Live well. As soon as he finished speaking, Qin Feng fainted. A monstrous flame of anger ignited in Xiao Li's heart. However, she couldn't risk her life to fight Ling Tianhai and the others. She still had to save Qin Feng. Whoosh! Xiao Li turned her grief and anger into speed. She carried Qin Feng on her back and sped away. Dust flew up from the ground as if a sports car had sped past. Sect leader Tianhai, Qin Feng has been knocked out. The woman is with me. Ling Yangzi shouted. The sound waves spread rapidly. In just a few breaths' time, Ling Daozi and the other two arrived. The four of them turned into four black shadows and chased after Xiao Li. Xiao Li's speed was so fast that it was dazzling. However, the four people she faced were too powerful. Ling Tianhai was slowly approaching Xiao Li. Seeing that she was about to be caught by Ling Tianhai, Xiao Li gritted her teeth and suddenly changed her path. After running for less than a minute, the surroundings became more and more desolate. It was as if she had entered a deep mountain area. Master, Xiao Li tried her best, but I couldn't save Master. Then, let's die together. Whoosh. The air was filled with the sound of explosions. Xiao Li's beautiful figure turned into a flying arrow. The road under her feet suddenly became empty. Beneath her feet was a bottomless pitch-black cliff. Ling Tianhai, who was the first to catch up, suddenly braked and stopped at the edge of the cliff. He watched as two pieces of rock fell down. Be careful, there's a cliff in front. Ling Tianhai hastily shouted to the 3 people who rushed after him. The 2 elders stopped in time. Half of Ling Daozi's body was hanging outside the cliff, but he was still pulled back to the shore by Ling Tianhai. Looking at the bottomless cliff, Ling Daozi's back was covered with a layer of cold sweat. If he fell down, he would definitely be smashed to pieces. Sect Leader Tianhai, what should we do now? Ling Daozi asked after everyone stared at the bottom of the cliff in silence. Ling Tianhai's expression was somewhat cold. He was very unhappy that he couldn't kill Qin Feng with his own hands. If this brat died, then so be it. Why did he have to jump off the cliff with 100 spirit stones? What a waste of resources. Oomph. They will definitely die if they fall from this cliff unless they have wings. Since this brat is dead, we don't have to worry about the martial arts circle convention this time. Let's go back and help Ling Fei break through to the middle stage of stage 9 inner chi. That way, the martial arts circle master will belong to our Starlight sect again. The reason why Ling Tianhai and the 2 great elders of the Star sect left the mountain and rushed to Devil City was because they learned of Qin Feng's strength. There was an expert who was comparable to the peak of stage 9 inner chi in Devil City. Moreover, he was below the age of 35. This was a major event that prevented the Star sect from becoming the chancellor of the martial circle. Now that Qin Feng was dead, everyone's apprehension disappeared. This brat is really lucky. I originally wanted to capture him and personally skin him alive. Ling Daozi fiercely spat at the bottom of the cliff. A few days ago, Qin Feng had caused him to be battered and exhausted in front of all the martial artists outside. Ling Daozi hated Qin Feng even more. The 4 of them stood at the edge of the cliff for a while. After making sure that Qin Feng and the woman didn't come up, they transformed into 4 black shadows and disappeared into the night. Xiaoli, where are we? Why do I feel like we're falling? Qin Feng suddenly woke up from the rapid fall. Then he was stunned. Was he jumping off the cliff? Ouyang Feng, come out. Chapter 1032. Xiaoli heard Qin Feng shout, but she didn't understand what Qin Feng was shouting. She suddenly hugged Qin Feng tightly and even kissed him. Xiaoli thought that she and Qin Feng were going to die, and she wanted to give her first kiss to the person she loved before she died. Woo-woo. Xiaoli, what are you doing? Qin Feng jumped in shock and gently pushed Xiaoli away. Xiaoli didn't care and hugged Qin Feng again. This time, she even took the initiative to French kiss, but it was clearly a bit stiff. Qin Feng's feet landed on the ground, and he immediately pushed Xiaoli away. Let's not think about love now. I have to quickly forge the flying sword and kill my way back to take revenge. Time was of the essence, and Qin Feng didn't have time to waste. Once the treasure inspection fair ended in the next 2 days, the Martial Circle Convention would follow. Qin Feng still had the Martial Circle Alliance Master mission, so he had to forge the Starry Sky flying sword in these 2 days and strive to break through his realm. Xiaoli gradually woke up from her daze. She widened her eyes and looked at her surroundings in astonishment. This was the bottom of a cliff, and there were cliffs all around. There was also a waterfall flowing down. Below them was a grassy plain with many flowers and plants. It was simply a holy land for cultivation and living in seclusion. Master, we didn't die. Xiaoli was stunned and suddenly changed her words. I know, could this be heaven? Master, we actually went to heaven after we died. Seeing Xiaoli jumping up and down in a silly manner, Qin Feng patted her head and smiled. Nonsense, we didn't die. This is the bottom of a cliff, and we're living well. Ouyang Feng greets Master. Ouyang Feng waited until Qin Feng and Xiaoli finished speaking before coming over to greet him. Xiaoli suddenly blocked in front of Qin Feng, and a murderous look immediately appeared on her face. Master, be careful. There are people at the bottom of this valley. Qin Feng was amused by Xiaoli. He reached out and hugged Xiaoli's snake demon and pulled her into his embrace. Don't be afraid. This is a friend of mine. He was the one who saved us. Xiaoli lay in Qin Feng's embrace. That warm embrace made Xiaoli unwilling to leave. This is Master's friend? Why is he here? Could it be that he lives in this valley? Xiaoli couldn't understand. Qin Feng smiled and didn't explain because he couldn't explain Ouyang Feng's background. Ouyang Feng, stand guard around me. I'm going to focus on refining my flying sword for the next 2 days. Don't let anyone disturb me. Qin Feng instructed Ouyang Feng. After thinking for a bit, he released Shimin Chui Shui as well. When Shaoli saw the white-clothed, cold-looking youth suddenly appear at the bottom of the valley, she screamed in fright again. Even she, a ghost cultivator, was stunned by Qin Feng's miraculous methods. With Ouyang Feng and Shimin Chui Shui protecting him, Qin Feng did not have to worry at all. He also looked down at the cliff. It was so deep that he could not see the bottom. He believed that Ling Tianhai and the others would not come down at all. They must have thought that he had fallen to his death. Qin Feng pulled Shaoli around and finally found a place to sit at the foot of a mountain. Qin Feng said a few words to Shaoli before he entered the Hedonist sovereign system. Master, Little Pig, and Pikachu leaped onto Qin Feng's shoulders. Qin Feng's escape from death scared the two pets. They kept rubbing Qin Feng's face with their little heads, tickling Qin Feng and making him laugh out loud. Pikachu, how is Ruoro after she disappeared? Qin Feng thought of Su Ruoro when he saw Pikachu. Pikachu said a lot, but Qin Feng did not understand. In the end, it was Little Pig who translated. Master, Pikachu said that Mistress Su Ruoro has been staying in the Serenity sect to cultivate. However, that man called Ling Fei has been pestering Su Ruoro. After Master refines the flying sword, you must teach him a good lesson. Qin Feng had not liked Ling Fei for a long time. He gritted his teeth and prepared to kill all the elders and disciples of the Starlight sect after the flying sword was refined. After messing around with the two little guys for a while, Qin Feng entered the forging interface. This was a place specially for forging spiritual weapons. The purple thunder wild robe that Qin Feng wore was forged here. In front of him was a huge forging furnace. Qin Feng clapped his hands, and dozens of materials for forging the starry sky, flying sword entered the furnace. Black rock sand, purple crystal, yuan meteor stone, heaven and earth vital stone. These were the materials that Qin Feng had collected over the past few months. Now, with the addition of the Saint Soul Stone, he had gathered all the materials for the starry sky, flying sword. Rumble. After all the materials entered the furnace, Qin Feng clapped his hands, and a ball of destructive fire rose a few meters high from the bottom of the furnace. It was as if it was going to swallow the entire forging path. The refining process was relatively slow. Qin Feng had to constantly control the intensity of the destructive fire. From time to time, he had to add some spirit stones to maintain sufficient spiritual energy during the refining process. The cauldron slowly rose into the air and rotated at a constant speed in the void. The destructive fire raged ceaselessly. The 100 or so spirit stones around Qin Feng were reduced piece by piece. Before long, he had refined more than 50 spirit stones. Although Qin Feng had been sitting motionlessly during the process of refining the flying sword, this was a task that tested his mental strength. He had only persisted for 6 hours, but Qin Feng was already drenched in sweat. His head was starting to buzz, and he felt like he would faint at any moment. Qin Feng gulped down all kinds of refreshing pills as if they were rice. The small mountain of spirit stones beside him also decreased rapidly. Another 6 hours passed. Qin Feng had refined from night to day. He felt that his body had reached its limit, and there were only about 20 spirit stones left beside him. Rumble. After an unknown amount of time, the furnace finally let out a loud noise that hadn't been heard for a long time. The noise was earth-shattering. It was as if a bolt of lightning had struck the valley. Wei Yan's precipitous cliff shook violently, and a lot of rocks tumbled down. Master, be careful. Shaoli didn't sleep for the whole night. She kept an eye on Qin Feng's condition. In the middle of the night, when Qin Feng was sweating profusely, Shaoli would help him wipe his body. Now that he saw the huge change in the valley, Shaoli was so frightened that he hurriedly lay on Qin Feng's body to help him block the falling rocks. Rumble. The loud noises continued, and the rocks fell like rain. Qin Feng, who had been sitting cross-legged, suddenly opened his eyes. His eyes shone brightly. He raised his hand, and a pink ray of light shot out from his palm. An exquisite short sword soared into the sky like a dragon emerging from the sea, bringing with it the power of heaven and earth. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. The sound of the cosmic flying sword slicing the rocks came from above. The huge rocks on the cliff were extremely hard, but they were like soft tofu under the cosmic flying sword. Tap, tap, tap. Bits and pieces of debris fell and surrounded Qin Feng and Xiao Li. The falling rocks were all sliced into fine sand by the cosmic flying sword. In a short while, the area around the two of them was reduced to a small sand dune. The shocking scene shocked Xiao Li so much that she couldn't speak. "Master, your sword is so powerful." Xiao Li stared at Qin Feng with her mouth agape. Qin Feng raised his head proudly. His heart was filled with excitement. The cosmic flying sword was successfully refined. Xiao Li, why am I naked?" Qin Feng's proud mood lasted for a few seconds. Suddenly, he felt a chill run down his spine. He looked down and was shocked. Xiao Li suddenly became shy. Her beautiful eyes inadvertently glanced at Qin Feng's thighs. "And Master, last night, I saw you sweating all over, so I took off your clothes and helped you wipe." After all, Qin Feng hadn't done anything with Xiao Li, so he felt a bit awkward. When he looked down and saw little Qin Feng soaring into the sky, Qin Feng felt even more awkward. Turn around. I'll put on my clothes," Qin Feng said. Xiao Li blushed. She got up and brought the wash clothes over. "Master, the clothes are already dry. Xiao Li will help you put them on." Qin Feng wanted to refuse, but Xiao Li had already started. This girl really didn't avoid it. She really helped Qin Feng put on his clothes. She even helped him put on his underwear. After putting on his clothes, Qin Feng didn't do anything. A hint of disappointment flashed in Xiao Li's eyes. She thought Qin Feng would pounce on her. "Master, congratulations. The flying sword is complete." Once the flying sword is out, who can compete with it? Ouyang Feng and Shimin Chue Shui sensed the change and rushed over. They raised their heads and looked at the pink figure flying back and forth in the sky. Their eyes flickered with envy. Swish! Qin Feng made a grabbing motion in the air. The cosmic flying sword instantly flew into Qin Feng's hand as if it had a mind of its own. Only then did everyone see the appearance of the cosmic flying sword. It was a short sword that was half a meter long. Its entire body was emitting a strange pink glow. The blade was exquisite and beautiful. There were a few stars carved on it. There were also a few pink, auspicious clouds on the hilt. The entire sword was filled with boundless spiritual energy. "Wow, Master, what grade is this spiritual weapon? This is my first time seeing it. Why do I feel like this sword is alive?" Xiao Li stared at the cosmic flying sword for a while and couldn't help but exclaim. Ouyang Feng and Shimin Chue Shui yearned for the cosmic flying sword. With the flying sword, Qin Feng could control the sword to fly and kill people. That was something that even true Qi experts would find difficult to do. This is a rare pink equipment. It's a grade higher than a purple equipment spiritual weapon. Qin Feng didn't hide it from Xiao Li. After Xiao Li jumped off the cliff, Qin Feng completely trusted this maid. Pink equipment spiritual weapon? Master is really amazing. Xiao Li admired Qin Feng from the bottom of her heart. She had been wandering in the martial arts world for a period of time. She had seen martial artists using blue-grade spiritual equipment. Xiao Li had never seen a purple-grade spiritual equipment before. Now, she had seen a pink-grade flying sword. Qin Feng was extremely excited after he refined the flying sword. He grabbed Xiao Li's slim waist and leaped into the air. Whoosh! Xiao Li felt her feet stepping on something. Then, her body fell backward due to inertia. The wind whistled past her ears. The scenery of the valley changed every second. Xiao Li only regained her senses after a long time. She discovered that she was actually flying. Wow, awesome. It's even more awesome than riding the flaming golden eagle. Qin Feng screamed in the valley. His voice echoed throughout the valley. Chapter 1033. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for successfully forging the Galaxy Flying Sword and replenishing the limited items in the Hedonist Sovereign System. The system rewards host Qin Feng 100,000 Hedonist points. Host Qin Feng has a total of 380,000 Hedonist points. Ding! The Hedonist Sovereign System has issued a quest. Revenge Quest. Kill the Star Sect members who came to participate in the martial arts conference and retaliate. Quest time limit, 10 days. If the quest is completed, the system will reward host Qin Feng 50,000 Hedonist points and an immortal pill. If the quest is failed, 100,000 Hedonist points will be deducted and the Galaxy Flying Sword will be taken back. The system notification rang in Qin Feng's mind. Qin Feng stared at the 380,000 Hedonist points and wondered how he should spend them. Activating the Star Technology interface required 500,000 Hedonist points, which was obviously not enough. However, he could upgrade the Silver Alliance to the Gold Alliance. That way, he could use the function of the space-time door and transfer items to the Hero Alliance members. Qin Feng thought for a while and decided not to do it right away. He forged the Galaxy Flying Sword and flew on it excitedly. Master, we're really flying? Master's treasured sword is so powerful. Xiaoli flew for a while before she regained her senses. She looked at the lingering clouds beneath her feet and the valley waterfall flying behind her. She still found it hard to accept. Qin Feng hugged Xiao Li's slender waist. His body heated up when he heard Xiao Li's meaningful words. Was the treasured sword Xiao Li mentioned the Galaxy Flying Sword or some other great treasured sword? Master, Xiaoli wants to do it with you. While Qin Feng's imagination ran wild, Xiaoli suddenly threw herself into Qin Feng's arms. In this dreamy moment, she wanted to have 300 rounds with Qin Feng. Qin Feng felt the softness of Xiao Li's body, but he managed to maintain his rationality. There were too many women around Qin Feng, and he felt that he had to be responsible for Xiao Li. At least, Qin Feng didn't have any other feelings for Xiao Li at the moment, so he didn't want to dominate her. Don't move, or you might fall from the flying sword. Qin Feng gently pushed Xiao Li away. A trace of disappointment flashed through Xiao Li's eyes, but she didn't act recklessly. After flying for a while, the two of them returned to the bottom of the valley. Shimin Chui Shui and Ouyang Feng watched Qin Feng fly from the bottom of the valley. Their eyes were filled with yearning, and they complained that they weren't beauties. Then, their master would bring them to experience the wonders of the flying sword. Xiaoli, how long have we been here? After Qin Feng landed on the ground, the starry sky, flying sword under his feet disappeared. Xiao Li's eyes widened as he looked around Qin Feng's body. He did not know where the flying sword had gone. Master, we have already stayed at the bottom of the valley for a day and a night. The martial arts tournament will be held the day after tomorrow, Little Li said. Qin Feng nodded. That was a bit tight. Now that Qin Feng had taken out his flying sword, he felt that he could kill a Stage 9 inner Qi expert with his flying sword. However, there was a true Qi stage expert from the Starlight sect. Qin Feng planned to use this one day and one night to improve his strength. Ouyang Feng and Shimin Chui Shui continued to protect him. Xiaoli stayed by Qin Feng's side to take care of him. After refining the flying sword, Qin Feng was left with more than 20 spirit stones. He immediately set up a small spirit gathering formation and sat in the small circle formed by the 20 spirit stones. The surrounding spiritual energy continuously flowed into Qin Feng's body, turning the area around him into a holy land for cultivation. Qin Feng had already started cultivating with full concentration. Xiaoli widened her eyes in astonishment as she looked at the changes in the surrounding spiritual energy. The longer she stayed by Qin Feng's side, the more astonished she became. This master of hers was simply too powerful. He knew all kinds of spells and magic formations. Xiao Li's ghost cultivation didn't require spiritual energy to cultivate. Therefore, the majestic spiritual energy gathered by the small spirit gathering formation was all absorbed by Qin Feng. While Qin Feng absorbed the spiritual energy, he also threw all kinds of medicinal pills into his mouth. After staying in the early stage of Stage 9 inner chi for a long time, Qin Feng's dantian felt slightly inflated. With the help of the spirit-gathering formation, he spent 18 hours cultivating. Suddenly, a loud noise came from Qin Feng's body. The valley shook again, and the sky changed drastically as if a rainstorm was about to fall. Cultivation was an act that defied the heavens. The higher the level of cultivation, the stronger the hindrance of the heavenly Tao. Qin Feng's breakthrough to Stage 9 inner chi caused a thunderstorm to descend from the heavens. However, this kind of heavenly tribulation was nothing to Qin Feng. Qin Feng leaped into the sky and dashed through the valley. Ouyang Feng and the other two looked up and saw a flash of pink light. In the blink of an eye, Qin Feng had traveled hundreds of meters. Loud noises resounded in the valley. Qin Feng casually swung his sword a few times, and the towering mountain peak seemed to have exploded. Huge rocks rolled down from the mountainside. It was as magnificent as a mudslide. Huh, awesome. Now I'll have my revenge. Qin Feng was pleasantly surprised when he sensed the strength of the middle stage of Stage 9 inner chi. The combination of the middle stage of Stage 9 inner chi and the cosmic flying sword increased Qin Feng's strength by more than 10 times. He felt that if he fought with Ling Daozi now, he could kill that ant within 10 moves. Qin Feng thought of Elder Qian Huan Tong of Ice Lake Mountain. This old Taoist nun had beaten Qin Feng up badly 2 days ago. Her 1,000 phantom palms was indeed powerful and even more violent than Ling Daozi's. However, Qin Feng was no longer afraid of that old woman. If Elder Qian Huan Tong was standing next to Qin Feng would have pierced her body with his sword. Master, you're so powerful. I can feel that you've reached the true energy stage. Shaoli looked at Qin Feng, who had landed on the ground, and danced with joy. When she was controlled by the ghastly face Evil King, she had seen the strength of the ghastly face Evil King. The ghastly face Evil King was a level 9 evil cultivator, but it was equivalent to an expert of the true chi stage. And the few sword moves that Qin Feng had just displayed made Shaoli feel as if she had seen the majesty of the ghastly face Evil King. The torrential rain had soaked everyone's clothes. Shaoli was wearing a long, white dress that stuck to her body. She never wore any undergarments under her dress, so her impressive body was clearly visible. Even Qin Feng felt a bit restless. Master, Shaoli is a little cold. Shaoli saw the passion in Qin Feng's eyes. She suddenly threw herself into Qin Feng's arms. A softness pressed against his chest. Qin Feng almost pushed Shaoli over. Shaoli, I'm going to take care of business. Are you going to wait for me here or come with me? Qin Feng calmed down. He had been suppressed by Ice Lake Mountain and Starlight Sect for the past few days. Now that he had his flying sword, he wanted to kill to his heart's content. Recently, Shaoli took the initiative to seduce Qin Feng more frequently because she realized that her love for Qin Feng was getting deeper and deeper, to the point where she couldn't extricate herself. After being rejected by Qin Feng again, Shaoli was extremely shy. She even doubted her beauty. Could it be that Master didn't like her? Shaoli suddenly lowered her head and stopped talking. Of course, Qin Feng knew what she was thinking. He hugged her slender waist and leaped onto his flying sword. Don't think too much. I'll take you with me. I don't feel at ease leaving you alone in the valley. There's still a long way to go. Love will come. Qin Feng had already recalled Ouyang Feng and Shimen Shueishua back into the system. Then, he said some meaningful words. Shaoli's originally depressed mood gradually warmed up. She lay in Qin Feng's arms and stared at Qin Feng with her big eyes. Qin Feng flew straight to the top of the mountain on his flying sword. Along the way, he was embarrassed by Shaoli's stare. 2 days ago, they were forced to jump off the cliff. Now that they stood on the cliff and looked down at the bottomless valley, their hearts were filled with emotions. Old dogs from Starlight Sect. I'm here to collect your corpses. And that old hag from Ice Lake Mountain. I said I'll play with you in 50 days. I'll play with you. Qin Feng stood at the edge of the cliff and roared. Shaoli blushed. Why would Master play with that old Taoist nun instead of me? Master, where are we going now? Shaoli looked at Qin Feng and asked, "It's getting late. Let's go look for Qing Shui first. I wonder what happened in Devil City while I was gone for a few days." Qin Feng was not blinded by the flames of revenge. Now that he had the flying sword in his hand and had broken through to the middle stage of stage 9 inner chi, he didn't care about the martial artists in Devil City at all. Revenge was just a matter of time. Qin Feng planned to protect a few important people before he went on a killing spree. The two of them sped all the way and quickly arrived at the Chuanzhong restaurant. Although it was already late at night, the Chuanzhong restaurant was still bustling with people. When they saw Qin Feng and Shaoli walk in, all the customers stopped what they were doing and looked at Qin Feng as if they had seen a ghost. Qin Feng had already returned to his original appearance. Is there something wrong with my eyes? Young hero Qin? I saw young hero Qin. It's Senior Green Wolf. The little beauty beside him was also at the competition. Senior Green Wolf is back. Young hero Qin Feng is back at this time. The martial arts circle convention tomorrow will be interesting. Qin Feng's appearance immediately caused the crowd to become restless. Ever since Qin Feng had disappeared after his battle with Ling Daozi 5 days ago, he had never appeared again. Everyone thought that Qin Feng had been injured and could not participate in the martial arts circle convention this time. This caused the disciples of the outer hidden sects to feel somewhat disappointed. If Qin Feng did not come, who would support the outer hidden sects? The entire hall was in an uproar. These outer hidden sect disciples were about to go crazy. As if he didn't hear these people's discussion, Qin Feng pulled Xiao Li's hand and walked upstairs. The martial artists in the hall immediately opened up a path and looked at Qin Feng with reverence. This young man was only in his early 20s, but he was an amazing person who could fight against Ling Daozi, who was at the peak of stage 9 inner chi. Qin Feng went all the way to the 3rd floor and knocked on the door of the Blue Moon Observatory's room. Young hero Qin Feng, are you all right? The person who opened the door was a female disciple of the Blue Moon Observatory. When she saw Qin Feng, she covered her mouth and cried out in surprise. Sect leader Qing Yuan heard the commotion and rushed over. Another female disciple, and Chen Hai also came over. Chapter 1034. Sect leader Qing Yuan, I'm fine now. I'm here to look for Dong Fong Qing Shui. Why isn't she here? Qin Feng had already walked into the room. He scanned the room, but didn't see any trace of Dong Fong Qing Shui. Sect Master Qing Yuan's expression was a bit anxious. Young hero Qin Feng, Qing Shui went out this afternoon and hasn't returned. I was just about to bring my disciples to find her, but I didn't think you'd come. Qin Feng raised his eyebrows. He had a bad feeling. Why didn't you call Qing Shui? I called her a few times, but her phone was turned off. Sect leader Qing Yuan was in a dilemma. She knew Qin Feng was Dong Fong Qing Shui's fiancé. Qin Feng was the Azure Dragon of China's 9 dragons. 5 days ago, he defeated the martial arts alliance master, Ling Daozi. Sect leader Qing Yuan did not dare to offend such a powerful person. Something must have happened to Qing Shui. Did she say where she was going when she went out this afternoon? Tell me if you have any other clues. Qin Feng became anxious. Dong Fong Qing Shui had always lived in the provincial capital, so her phone would not be turned off for no reason. Sect leader Qing Yuan and the others also realized the severity of the situation. The 2 female disciples were so anxious that they walked around in circles. Chen Hai had yelled at Qin Feng before, but after witnessing Qin Feng's strength 5 days ago, he didn't even dare to raise his head when he saw Qin Feng. Oh, I went out this afternoon and saw that elder of Ice Lake Mountain chatting with junior sister Qing Shui. I was puzzled at that time because Qing Shui didn't know the female elder of Ice Lake Mountain, but she didn't ask. One of the female disciples suddenly exclaimed. This clue made Qin Feng's eyes light up. He could roughly guess that Ice Lake Mountain's 1,000 illusion child must have taken Dong Fong Qing Shui as a hostage. Young hero Qin Feng, where are you going? Seeing that Qin Feng was about to leave, the clear distance sect master hurriedly followed after him. Do you need our help? Qin Feng waved his hand. With the strength of these people from the Blue Moon Observatory, going to Ice Lake Mountain would be a waste. Instead, they would become Qin Feng's burden. Wait for my news here. I'll be back soon. Qin Feng pulled Xiaoli along and walked all the way to the 5th floor. The 4th and 5th floors of the Zhongchuan restaurant were all guest rooms. However, the higher the floor, the better the facilities and environment of the guest rooms. Normally, only relatively famous large sects in the martial arts world could fight for a spot on these 2 floors. The 20-over rooms on the 5th floor were basically all occupied by the members of the Inner Secret Order. Stinking brat, which sector are you from? Why haven't I seen you before? This is the sacred land of the 5th floor. Trash from the Outer Secret Order is not allowed to enter. As soon as Qin Feng pulled Xiao Li to the staircase leading to the 5th floor, the 2 guards started yelling at Qin Feng. Both of them were disciples of the Inner Hidden Sect. The Inner Hidden Sect disciples were very arrogant, and they had only arrived a few days before the treasure convention. They didn't know about the battle between Qin Feng and Ling Dozi 5 days ago, so they didn't recognize Qin Feng. How dare you yell at Master? Scram! Xiaoli shouted angrily. Suddenly, a gust of chilly wind surged from his body as he slapped out with his palm. The 2 guards were both stage 8 inner chi martial artists. Their faces darkened as they attacked Xiao Li together. Humph! You don't know what's good for you, you stinking brat. Watch how I teach you a lesson. This girl is so pretty. Knock her out and drag her into the room. Xiaoli could barely fight a stage 8 inner chi martial artist alone, let alone 2. Her yin chi was immediately suppressed by the inner chi of the 2 martial artists. Xiaoli was so anxious that her expression changed drastically. Bang! Bang! Just as one of the guards was about to grab Xiao Li's delicate arm, Qin Feng suddenly waved his hand and slapped both of them away. With a raise of his hand, 2 stage 8 inner chi martial artists fell to the ground and vomited blood. His strength scared the 2 martial artists half to death. When they saw Qin Feng walk over with a cold expression, they immediately begged for mercy. Great hero, we have eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. Please spare our lives, great hero. Great hero, we won't do it again. Bang! Qin Feng stomped on the leg of one of the guards. With a crack, the guard's thigh broke, and he fainted from the pain. The remaining guard was drenched in cold sweat. His body trembled uncontrollably, and he couldn't even speak. Tell me, where does the old hag of Ice Lake Mountain live? Qin Feng glared at the guard and yelled. The guard was stunned. He was trying to guess who the old hag of Ice Lake Mountain was. After a while, the guard immediately said, Is it Elder Qin Huan? She lives in the room on the right at the end of the corridor. Great hero, please spare my life. After the guard finished speaking, he immediately begged for mercy. Qin Feng raised his foot and stomped on the stage 8 inner chi disciple, as if he was stepping on an ant. Xiaoli was mesmerized by Qin Feng's domineering and handsome appearance. With a silly expression on her face, she was dragged into the corridor by Qin Feng. Master, are we going to kill our way in like this? When they reached the end of the corridor and Qin Feng was about to kick the door, Xiaoli suddenly became worried. Xiaoli knew Qin Feng was powerful, but she didn't know how powerful he was. Ice Lake Mountain was one of the 5 hidden hegemons. 2 days ago, Qin Feng was defeated by the old hag of Ice Lake Mountain. Now only 2 days had passed, and Qin Feng had returned. Could he really defeat the old hag? Stay outside if you're afraid. I'll come out in a moment, Qin Feng said to Xiaoli. Xiaoli immediately held Qin Feng's arm tightly and looked at him coquettishly. Master, I am not afraid. I'm just worried about you. Of course, Qin Feng understood Xiao Li's concerns. He patted her head and said, Then let's go in together. I'll let you see my current strength. Bang! As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, he raised his foot and kicked the door. The doors on the 5th floor of the hotel were specially made to prevent theft. However, Qin Feng easily kicked it open. The thick and heavy anti-theft door flew out and smashed the wooden boards and coffee table in the living room. In the end, the door sank into the wall of the living room window and almost blew the entire wall apart. Translator's notes. The room was huge. It was a high-class suite. Qian Huan Tong lived alone in this huge suite. At this moment, he was sitting on the sofa in the living room and watching TV. Qian Huantong always wore a silk nightgown. His arms and legs were exposed, and his skin was as fair as snow. He maintained his skin better than an 18-year-old girl's. The door that suddenly flew in shocked Qian Huantong. She leaped to the empty space at the side and shouted, "Who are you? How dare you barge into my room?" Qin Feng returned to his original appearance. Qian Huantong did not recognize Qin Feng. "Huh, my old sweetheart. I said I'll take over your body in 50 days. Now that 2 days have passed, I can't wait any longer. Why don't you recognize me?" Qin Feng said, and changed to Zheng Shuai's appearance. Qian Huantong's face was so cold that it could drip water. Zheng Shuai's appearance was too ugly. Qian Huantong would never let him take over her body, even if he beat her to death. "So it's you, you little bastard. I've been looking for you. That's right, that little lover of yours is tied up in my room. That chick is really a piece of work. It's a pity that you're too late. I've already let my 6 male disciples have a taste of that woman." Qian Huantong was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. She purposely said something that was not true to anger Qin Feng. Before she could finish her sentence, the entire room exploded with a powerful airflow. In the next moment, Qin Feng turned into a shadow and shot toward Qian Huantong. "Old hag, you've crossed the line." Rumble. Qin Feng's speed was so fast that Qian Huantong was stunned. While she was stunned, Qin Feng sent her flying with a punch. Her whole body sank into the marble wall. Qian Huantong hung on the wall and did not struggle. She stared at Qin Feng with her beautiful eyes as if she was looking at a monster. It had only been 2 days, but Qin Feng's strength had changed so much that it was beyond Qian Huantong's imagination. How did you become so powerful? Did you break through?" Qian Huantong's voice was still trembling when she finally managed to speak. The cultivation of a martial artist was in defiance of the natural order. The higher one's cultivation, the harder it was to break through. The 4 minor realms of stage 9 inner chi were extremely difficult to break through. Even though she witnessed it with her own eyes, she still found it hard to believe. "You're right. I did break through in these 2 days. I have to thank Vice Sect leader Ling Tianhai of the Starlight Sect for helping me break through." Qin Feng's thoughts ran wild. He wanted to deal with Ice Lake Mountain and the Starlight Sect, but these 2 sects were not to be underestimated. Therefore, Qin Feng set a trap for Qian Huantong. As expected, Qian Huantong's expression changed drastically. She remembered the mysterious man in black who suddenly appeared that night. That mysterious man was a true energy stage powerhouse, and he knew about the 100 spirit stones. He was obviously an expert who attended the treasure inspection convention that night. None of the people from the outer hidden sect attended the treasure inspection convention, so the mysterious man in black must be someone from the inner hidden sect. "Now that I've told you the secret, you can die in peace," Qin Feng said as he flew to Qian Huantong's side. As soon as he punched, a beautiful figure disappeared. Qin Feng's punch landed on the TV wall, creating a large hole in the LCD TV and the wall. Qian Huantong had already regained her senses and started to counterattack. She appeared behind Qin Feng in a flash and was about to hit him with her palm. "Master, be careful." "Xiao." Just as Shaoli opened his mouth, a gust of wind was heard. A pink sword ray streaked across the sky like a meteor and instantly pierced Qian Huantong's right arm. The majestic inner chi in her right hand was immediately broken, and she started to retreat. Bang! The old woman was 1 step too late. Qin Feng's palm struck Qian Huantong into the sofa's background wall. This time, she was completely stuck in the wall. Qin Feng used his hand to press on her plump chest, immobilizing her. "Bastard, let go of your filthy hand. I'm going to cut you into 1,000 pieces." Qian Huantong roared angrily, but her heart was still filled with shock and fear. Chapter 1035. You want me to let go? But I won't. Qin Feng was completely enraged by Elder Qian Huanchild's words. He thought Dongfang Qin Shui had really been defiled. At this moment, Qin Feng's anger seemed to want to burn down the entire demon city. Elder Qian Huanchild felt Qin Feng increase his strength, and the pain made her eyes spit fire. However, she was hit by Qin Feng twice and was under his control. She couldn't escape at all. Xiaoli, go inside and save Qing Shui, Qin Feng said without turning his head. Xiaoli saw her master grab the old woman's breasts and felt helpless. She couldn't understand her master's thoughts, so she jumped into the room. Rip! Just as Xiaoli left, Qin Feng grabbed with his big hand and tore the gauze nightgown on Thousand Illusion Child's body into pieces. The beautiful scene of Thousand Illusion Child fell into Qin Feng's eyes, and the old woman was so angry that she gritted her teeth so hard that she almost shattered them. Bastard, let go of me, or else Ice Lake Mountain will be irreconcilable with you. Elder Qian Huan Child was still chaste and had a powerful cultivation. Why had she ever been humiliated like this by a man? Qin Feng acted as if he couldn't hear her angry shouts. His big hands wandered around and touched Elder Qian Huan Child. My words count. Today I'll let you taste what it feels like to be played with. The anger in Qin Feng's heart made him lose all reason. He directly pounced at Elder Qian Huan Child. After Xiaoli entered the room, she found Dong Fong Qing Shui tied up on the bed. After checking, Xiaoli confirmed that Dong Fong Qing Shui wasn't violated and was only under house arrest. It's you? Where's Qin Feng? After Dong Fong Qing Shui saw Xiaoli, she started to struggle excitedly. However, her body was wrapped up in ropes, and she couldn't even sit up. Xiaoli sized up Dong Fong Qing Shui and had to admit that this woman was indeed devastatingly beautiful. No wonder she was his master's fiancée. Xiaoli had enmity towards Dong Fong Qing Shui. The two women often quarreled a few days ago. Now that she saw Dong Fong Qing Shui, Xiaoli didn't say anything and didn't untie her. What's that sound outside? What are you standing there for, you stinking girl? Hurry and untie me. Dong Fong Qing Shui's big missy temper flared, and she ordered Xiaoli. Xiaoli already had a grudge, so she ignored Dong Fong Qing Shui even more, letting her struggle on the bed. However, the strange sounds outside also attracted Xiaoli's attention. She leaped to the door and was immediately stunned by the scene in front of her. Ice Lake Mountain's elder was still stuck in the wall, and Qin Feng was dominating her. Seeing her master's wild behavior, Xiaoli's heart was in turmoil. Master, why, if you want it, why don't you come with Xiaoli? After watching for a while, Xiaoli couldn't help but suddenly come to Qin Feng's side. Qin Feng was stunned. He had not expected Xiaoli to say something like that at this time. However, Qin Feng did not stop. He looked at Xiaoli and said, "Just protect Qing Shui. I'm teaching this old woman a lesson." Xiaoli was rejected by Qin Feng again. She immediately lowered her head and ran back into the house. The commotion outside was so loud that even the walls were shaking. Xiaoli suppressed the excitement in her heart and ran to the door from time to time to take a look. She was so embarrassed that her face was about to drip water. "You smelly maid, hurry and let go of me. I'm your mistress. Be careful that I don't tell on you," to Qin Feng. Dong Fong Qing Shui struggled more and more. She felt that something was strange when she heard the commotion outside. She wanted to go out and see if Qin Feng was messing around. Xiaoli angrily walked to Dong Fong Qing Shui's side. She was in a bad mood after being rejected by her master. She reached out and ripped off Dong Fong Qing Shui's top. Dong Fong Qing Shui was so scared that she didn't dare to scream anymore. "If you talk too much, I'll rip off your pants too. Then, if Master sees you like this, he'll think you've been played with. Let's see if Master still wants you." Dong Fong Qing Shui was so sullen that tears flowed out. She didn't think she would be so unlucky. First, she was tied up by Ice Lake Mountain's old woman and placed under house arrest. Now, she was threatened by Qin Feng's maid. "Why hurry and put on my clothes? I am freezing." Dong Fong Qing Shui's tone softened a bit. She had no other choice. Xiaoli sat on the edge of the bed. She listened to the strange shouts outside and stared at Dong Fong Qing Shui's neckline. Then, she compared it to her own. Xiaoli suddenly felt a bit disappointed. Why was hers the smallest? "Hey, why, you're a pervert. Why are you staring at my neckline? Hurry, hurry and put on my clothes." Dong Fong Qing Shui was so angry that she wanted to die. She even suspected that Xiao Li was gay. Dong Fong Qing Shui was worried when she suddenly felt a pain in her chest. Xiao Li had grabbed her. "Ah, why you perverted demon? Hurry and take your hand away." Dong Fong Qing Shui shrieked in fright. Xiao Li smiled proudly. It was rare for her to get such a good opportunity to bully Dong Fong Qing Shui, so she couldn't miss it. "I won't let go. Let's see if you still dare to bully me in front of Master in the future. Do you still dare to show off your affection to anger me?" Xiao Li glared at Dong Fong Qing Shui and asked. Dong Fong Qing Shui was so angry that she gritted her teeth. She turned her face away and didn't say anything. Xiao Li's jade hand slipped and touched Dong Fong Qing Shui's thigh. "Ah, why you're crazy? Why don't touch me?" Dong Fong Qing Shui's entire body trembled. She was almost scared to death by Xiao Li's actions. Xiao Li smiled even more proudly. "Tell me, do you still dare to order me around in the future? You're ruthless." "I won't order you around in the future, okay? Why hurry and put on my clothes? Don't touch me." Dong Fong Qing Shui was completely helpless. She felt so wronged. Xiao Li wasn't an evil woman. She was simply immersed in her love for Qin Feng and couldn't extricate herself. She did all of this because of Qin Feng. Seeing that Dong Fong Qing Shui really couldn't take it anymore, Xiao Li let go of her hand. However, she didn't help her put on her clothes. This was a small punishment for Dong Fong Qing Shui for going against her before. Dong Fong Qing Shui didn't say anything. She was afraid that Xiao Li would pounce on her and touch her again. It was simply too awkward. The room quieted down. The two women didn't pay attention to each other. The noise in the living room outside grew louder and louder. It made one's imagination run wild. Dong Fong Qing Shui didn't know what was going on. She really wanted to go out and see what was going on. After more than half an hour, the noise finally subsided. Elder Thousand Illusion Child was so tired that he was about to collapse. He was grabbed by Qin Feng from the wall and placed on the sofa. After Qin Feng put on his clothes, Elder Thousand Illusion Child lay on the sofa. His eyes were lifeless. He felt as if his soul had been taken away. "Qing Shui, are you all right?" After Qin Feng finished, he immediately rushed into the room. Once he entered, he was stunned by the scene before him. "Wah! Qin Feng, hurry up and untie the ropes on my body." Dong Fong Qing Shui cried loudly when she saw Qin Feng. Qin Feng had always wanted to maintain a relationship with this woman. He thought he had no other feelings for Dong Fong Qing Shui. However, when he saw her naked upper body lying on the bed, Qin Feng's eyes became bloodshot. "Qing Shui, who did this to you? I'll kill him right now." Qin Feng strode to the bedside. Without hesitation, he quickly untied the ropes on Dong Fong Qing Shui's body. Dong Fong Qing Shui's face and ears flushed with embarrassment. She hurriedly put on her clothes, then angrily pointed at Xiao Li and yelled, "Qin Feng, hurry and kill that bad woman. She was the one who tortured me." Qin Feng was shocked. He looked at Xiao Li dumbfoundedly. "You said she took off your clothes? How is that possible?" Dong Fong Qing Shui also thought this was inconceivable. Was Xiao Li crazy? Dong Fong Qing Shui, who had a stomach full of grievances, threw herself into Qin Feng's arms. She hugged Qin Feng's arm tightly and began to act like a spoiled child. "It was your subordinate who did this. I was originally under house arrest by the old woman of Ice Lake Mountain. Then your subordinate suddenly came in, took off my clothes, and groped me. I don't care. You must kill her." The more Qin Feng listened, the more confused he became. He hurriedly grabbed Dong Fong Qing Shui's wrist and glanced at it. The virginity was still there. Dong Fong Qing Shui really wasn't violated? "Xiao Li, what's going on?" Qin Feng stared at Xiao Li in astonishment. Xiao Li had just taught Dong Fong Qing Shui a lesson. Just then, Dong Fong Qing Shui promised that she wouldn't tell on him in front of Qin Feng or flaunt their affection. Yet, as soon as Qin Feng entered the room, Dong Fong Qing Shui changed. Xiao Li was so angry that she almost spat blood. "Master, I was wrong. Xiaoli looked nervously at Qin Feng. After she calmed down, she felt that she went a bit too far. Qin Feng roughly understood the reason and was instantly speechless by Xiaoli's actions. However, Dongfang Qing Shui wasn't willing to let Xiaoli go. She pressed her upper body into Qin Feng's embrace, and her voice became coquettish. Qin Feng, hurry and go kill Xiaoli. Qin Feng looked at the pitiful Xiaoli and then looked at the charming and moving Dongfang Qing Shui in his arms. He was truly helpless against these two women. All right, Qing Shui. Xiaoli is very kind. She was probably just playing with you. Xiaoli apologized to Qing Shui. Don't make these kinds of jokes in the future. Qin Feng glanced at Xiaoli. Xiaoli also realized that she went too far. She said quietly, Big Miss Qing Shui, I'm sorry. Dongfang Qing Shui pouted and was still dissatisfied. She kicked her legs and acted like a spoiled child. No, she's just a maid, yet she dared to make a move on the mistress. Qin Feng, are you even my fiancé? Why are you always on her side? Hurry and go teach her a lesson. Qin Feng didn't know what to do. He carried Dongfang Qing Shui off the bed and straightened the messy hair on her forehead. He suddenly lowered his head and kissed Dongfang Qing Shui on the forehead. All right, stop messing around. I'll take you back. You haven't eaten all day, right? Qin Feng changed the topic and didn't scold Xiaoli. Dongfang Qing Shui's delicate body had long since stiffened. She never thought that Qin Feng would suddenly kiss her forehead. Dongfang Qing Shui had always opposed this marriage forced by her grandfather. She hated Qin Feng from the beginning and secretly used many small methods to teach Qin Feng a lesson. Chapter 1036. Seeing Qin Feng hug Dongfang Qing Shui and kiss her forehead lovingly, Xiaoli was extremely envious. Qin Feng and Dongfang Qing Shui walked out of the room. Xiaoli lowered her head in disappointment and followed. She didn't know when her master would like her. Only then would he dote on her like she was his woman. He actually let that old woman run away. After leaving the room, Qin Feng saw that elder Qian Huan child had already left. The living room was a mess like a battlefield. Dongfang Qing Shui had already come back to her senses. She shyly struggled out of Qin Feng's embrace. She remembered the strange sounds and pulled Qin Feng's arm. What happened outside? Are you hurt? Qin Feng felt a bit guilty. How could he be hurt? That old woman from Ice Lake Mountain was probably hurt. Who told Qin Feng to be so powerful? Cough, cough. I'm fine. I just fought with Elder Qian Huan child. I didn't think she would escape, Qin Feng said half-truthfully. Dongfang Qing Shui still had some doubts, but didn't ask. She thought back to the excited sounds in the living room and thought that the female elder from Ice Lake Mountain was beaten up quite badly. Xiaoli saw the intense process, but she didn't say anything. Seeing Xiaoli's depressed mood, Qin Feng patted her shoulder and said, Xiaoli, take Qing Shui to the Blue Moon Observatory's room. I'll come find you guys later. Dongfang Qing Shui saw Qin Feng and was reluctant. She grabbed Qin Feng's arm and asked, You just came back. Where are you going? The people from Star Sect are after you, and you've offended an elder from Ice Lake Mountain. Don't run around. How about we go back to the capital? I don't want to participate in this martial arts circle conference. Dongfang Qing Shui found that she couldn't help but worry about Qin Feng. Xiaoli was also worried about her master. This time, she agreed with Dongfang Qing Shui's suggestion. The outer martial arts world was too dangerous. Master would only be safe if he returned to the capital. I'm fine. You guys go back first. I'll find you guys soon. Qin Feng prepared to find trouble with Star Sect at night. This time, he couldn't bring Xiao Li and Dongfang Qing Shui. There were too many experts from Star Sect. It was safer for Qin Feng to act alone. Though Xiao Li was still worried, she obeyed her master's orders. She ignored Dongfang Qing Shui's struggles and pulled her downstairs. The environment of this floor was elegant, and every room was soundproof. Therefore, the commotion in Thousand Illusion Children's old house didn't attract anyone's attention. The hallway was still quiet and cheerless. The two-stage 8 inner Qi guards were still unconscious at the bottom of the stairs. Qin Feng went up and kicked one of them awake. Ah, great. Great hero, spare my life, spare my life. As soon as he woke up, the guard was so scared that his entire body trembled. He was truly stunned by Qin Feng's strength tonight. The guard was puzzled. He basically knew all the experts in the inner hidden sect, but he had never seen such a young expert like Qin Feng. Who exactly was this person? Don't talk nonsense. Let me ask you, which inner hidden sects are staying in these rooms? Qin Feng yelled in a low voice. The inner 8 disciple stopped begging and started to introduce the first room at the stairs. Hero, the 2 rooms at the entrance are for the people of the inner Thousand Miles sect. The 2 rooms opposite are for the people of the inner Leifeng Pagoda. The 2 rooms inside are for the disciples of the Jade Lady Mountain. The 3 rooms inside are for the Serenity sect, one of the inner 5 hegemons, 3 rooms for the Snow Mountain sect, 4 rooms for the Immortal Cloud sect, and 4 rooms for the Starlight sect. The guard explained the situation of the entire floor to Qin Feng. Now, Qin Feng was completely clear about the situation on this floor. The reason why he asked so clearly was because Qin Feng planned to go to Serenity to find Su Ruo Ro and Snow Mountain sect to see Wen Yiming Bang. After asking all the questions that needed to be asked, Qin Feng casually swung his palm down, and the guard was knocked unconscious again. Qin Feng didn't go to Star Sect directly. Instead, he went to room 515. This was Serenity's residence. Who is it? A pleasant voice came from a room after a while. It was Su Ruoro's voice. It's me. I'm here to return your Pikachu, Qin Feng said. Ka! The door suddenly opened. Su Ruoro seemed to have just finished showering. She had a white towel draped over her body. Her arms and legs were exposed to the air. Waves of fragrance assailed Qin Feng's nostrils. Return it to me. Su Ruoro saw Qin Feng's restless gaze. She angrily extended her hand towards Qin Feng. Qin Feng grabbed Su Ruoro's hand and dashed into the room. What are you doing? Damn pervert, let go of me. Qin Feng locked the door from the inside. He carried Su Ruoro into the big bed in the inner room. Qin Feng looked around and found that Su Ruoro was the only one living in the room. The disciples of the hidden 5 hegemons were considered high class, and each of them lived in a suite. On the other hand, the disciples of the hidden 5 hegemons lived in a standard room with a few people. Su Ruoro was placed on the bed. Her towel was a bit messy. Qin Feng couldn't help but steal a few glances. He quickly calmed himself down. Ruoro, don't be nervous. I won't hurt you. I'll return the Pikachu to you. Qin Feng commanded with his mind. Pikachu jumped out of the towel and flew into Su Ruoro's arms. Su Ruoro's nervousness eased a little. She realized that the man before her had no ill intentions towards her. He even called her Ruoro. Su Ruoro was puzzled. Who are you? What do you want? Su Ruoro hastily pulled the blanket over her body. She hugged the Pikachu tightly in her arms and looked at Qin Feng vigilantly. Ruoro, we used to be a couple. You lost your memory and were taken away by the Serenity's sect leader. I'm here to pick you up. Qin Feng explained the situation in a few words. The more Su Ruoro listened, the more confused she became. Don't talk nonsense. How could I be your girl? Where's your girlfriend? Master found me in the deep mountains when I was young. Then I cultivated in the Serenity. Don't try to lie to me. Get out of here now. Otherwise, I won't be polite anymore. Su Ruoro was a bit agitated. After all, a grown man had barged into her room at night. She was already very patient by not attacking him. Qin Feng didn't mind Su Ruoro's attitude. After all, Su Ruoro had lost her memory and couldn't remember the past. Pikachu, Pikachu. Pikachu yelled. He suddenly struggled out of Su Ruoro's embrace and jumped onto Qin Feng's shoulder. He chirped and jumped nonstop. Pikachu, hurry and come back. Su Ruoro was a bit angry. Pikachu used to listen to her the most and almost never left her side. Why did he change as soon as he saw this youth? Master, Pikachu wants you to hurry and push down the mistress, subdue her, and bring her back. Little Pig translated Pikachu's words. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He didn't follow Pikachu's wishes. He walked to Su Ruoro's bedside and sat down. Ruoro, I didn't lie to you. How about I tell you about our past? Maybe you'll remember. Do not sit here. Hurry and leave. Su Ruoro didn't remember having a boyfriend. She had never been so close to a man. Now that Qin Feng sat down, the air was filled with the scent of a man. It made Su Ruoro's heart go numb. Dong dong dong. Someone suddenly knocked on Su Ruoro's door. Su Ruoro grabbed onto a straw in the water and immediately went to open the door. Senior sister Xianyu. Junior sister Wuxin, what's wrong? Hua Xianyu saw that Su Ruoro's mood wasn't right when she entered the room. Then, she saw Qin Feng standing in the living room. Qin Feng? Why are you in junior sister Wuxin's room? Hua Xianyu's expression suddenly became cold. She mistakenly thought that Qin Feng forced Su Ruoro to do something. Hearing Su Ruoro's current name, Qin Feng smiled bitterly. Wuxin, are you going to draw a line between us? Miss Xianyu, I want to take Ruoro away. Qin Feng didn't explain. He walked up to pull Su Ruoro away. Hua Xianyu immediately blocked in front of Su Ruoro and shouted with a cold face. Young hero Qin Feng, I've already taken a few steps back because you saved my life. But today, I won't let you take junior sister Wuxin away no matter what. Hua Xianyu knew that junior sister Wuxin lost her memory, but she lied to Qin Feng. Hua Xianyu was in a difficult position. Su Ruoro was a genius disciple that sect leader Jingxin fancied. She had a pure Yin body that only appeared once in 100 years. In the future, Su Ruoro might inherit sect leader Jingxin's position and bring serenity to greater heights. How could Hua Xianyu let Qin Feng take away such an important junior sister? Hua Xianyu couldn't bear the consequences if sect leader Jingxin blamed her. Miss Xianyu, you're making it difficult for me. Qin Feng didn't want to be enemies with Hua Xianyu. Young hero Qin Feng, I'm also in a difficult position. You should leave. Don't bother junior sister Wuxin anymore. Hua Xianyu's voice was firm. Qin Feng's expression became cold. He could only force himself. Hua Xianyu wasn't Qin Feng's opponent. Before she could react, she found that Qin Feng was already carrying Su Ruoro away. Hey, hurry and stop. You'll offend serenity like this. Sect leader Jingxin will definitely send people to kill you in the future. Hua Xianyu was so anxious that she stomped her feet. The reason why she was in such a difficult position was because she was worried about Qin Feng. Su Ruoro was a popular disciple of serenity. If she was taken away, sect leader Jingxin would explode in anger. Qin Feng didn't seem to hear Hua Xianyu's shouts. He carried Su Ruoro and ran. Su Ruoro kept struggling. She used her pink fist to hit Qin Feng's back and kicked her long legs. You bastard, hurry and put me down. Ruoro, stop kicking. You're little, but is exposed. Qin Feng extended his hand to support Su Ruoro's butt and helped her cover the bottom of the towel. Su Ruoro was so scared that her body suddenly froze. She really didn't dare to move. Rumble. A muffled sound suddenly exploded in front of Qin Feng. A black shadow stood at the top of the stairs with his hands behind his back. He was staring coldly at Qin Feng. Stinking brat, you actually didn't die? The person standing at the top of the stairs was Stellar Sect's vice sect leader, Ling Tianhai. As his voice fell, 3 people appeared behind Qin Feng. Ling Daozi and 2 elders blocked Qin Feng's way. Chapter 1037. Ling Tianhai and the others were shocked when they saw Qin Feng. 2 nights ago, everyone saw Qin Feng fall from the cliff. They thought Qin Feng would be smashed to pieces, but they didn't expect him to still be alive. Qin Feng didn't have any injuries, and his inner qi was much more powerful. They couldn't figure it out. Bastard, put me down. Su Ruoro was almost taken away by Qin Feng. She hit Qin Feng's back with her fists when she saw the people from Star Sect. Qin Feng wanted to send Su Ruoro to the room in Azure Moon Observatory first, and then find trouble with the people from Star Sect. He didn't expect to run into people from Star Sect. Lady Xianyu, take care of Ruoro for me. I'll come back for her after I torture these old dogs. With a leap, Qin Feng's figure had already disappeared to the staircase. How could Ling Tianhai and the others let Qin Feng leave? They hurriedly chased after him. Su Ruo fell into Hua Xianyu's arms and was carried into the room. Junior sister Wu Xian, are you okay? Hua Xianyu put Su Ruo on the bed and looked at her worriedly. Su Ruo wasn't hurt, but she was embarrassed. Her hands couldn't help but touch her butt. Qin Feng pressed down on it for a long time. Ever since Su Ruo had joined Serenity, she had wholeheartedly focused on cultivation. She had never cared about matters of the heart. Moreover, she didn't know what was wrong with her. She had no interest in men at all, but today, she had been taken advantage of by Qin Feng. Su Ruo's starry eyes were filled with mist. Junior sister Wuxin, why don't you say something? Qin Feng didn't do anything to you, right? Hua Xianyu was anxious. Qin Feng wasn't that kind of person. Su Ruo came back to her senses and shook her head. He didn't do anything to me. He just wanted to take me away. Senior sister Xianyu, are you close to Qin Feng? Why does he keep pestering me and call me Ruo? I don't even know him. These past few days, Su Ruo had been thinking about this matter. Actually, she also felt that it was a bit strange. Qin Feng didn't look like a bad person, nor was he a real pervert. So why did he insist on pestering her? Hua Xianyu was stumped by Su Ruo's question. She knew that Su Ruo had lost her memory, but she couldn't tell Su Ruo. Junior sister, I've only met Qin Feng once. He probably mistook me for someone else. Don't think too much about it. The martial arts circle convention is tomorrow morning. Rest well tonight. Hua Xianyu caressed Su Ruo's forehead and left the room. However, Su Ruo couldn't fall asleep no matter how hard she tried. Qin Feng's face appeared in her mind uncontrollably. In the scene where Qin Feng tyrannically carried her and ran outside, bang, 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 the wind whistled past his ears, and he could even hear the sound of wind breaking. After Qin Feng rushed out of the River Middle restaurant, he flew straight towards the depths of the Devil City. Ling Tianhai and the other 3 elders chased after Qin Feng. The scene was exactly the same as 2 nights ago. However, many things had changed tonight. Qin Feng was no longer the person he was 2 days ago. Now that he had the flying sword in his hand and had broken through to the mid-stage of Stage 9 enrich, he wasn't afraid of the 4 people chasing after him. Sect leader Tianhai, why do I feel that this brat's speed has increased? Ling Daozi frowned as he chased after Qin Feng halfway. He wasn't the only one who noticed the problem. Ling Tianhai and the other 2 elders also noticed the abnormality. It had only been 2 days, but Qin Feng's strength seemed to have increased tremendously. This brat has most likely broken through. However, no matter how much he breaks through, he's still only at the mid-stage of Stage 9 enrich. With the 4 of us working together, we don't have to be afraid of him. That night, he fell off the cliff and survived. Tonight, we must kill him with our own hands. Tomorrow was the Martial Arts Circle Convention. Originally, Ling Tianhai and the others had already calmed down. They were determined to win the position of the Martial Arts Alliance leader, but they didn't expect something like this to happen in the middle of the night. Ling Tianhai's expression was ice cold. He was determined to tear Qin Feng into 1,000 pieces. The cold wind whistled around them as the 5 of them transformed into 5 black shadows that shuttled through the night. The 5 of them were extremely fast. Ordinary martial artists wouldn't be able to see their existence clearly. They would only see a shadow flashing past their eyes, and in the next moment, the 5 of them disappeared into the deep night. Sect leader Tianhai, this is the place where Qin Feng was forced to jump off the cliff that night. We must be careful, Ling Daozi reminded. The other 3 had already discovered it, but Ling Tianhai didn't care. He took large strides and reached out to grab Qin Feng. Stinking brat, let's see where you can run now. Rumble. Ling Tianhai grabbed the void, but it was as if he had squeezed the air in front of him. A loud sound rang out, and a powerful aura shot out. An ordinary person would be blown to pieces if they were near it. Qin Feng had indeed arrived at the edge of the cliff. He even stopped, seeing a violent aura surging towards him. Qin Feng's expression didn't change. He suddenly leaped into the bottomless abyss. Bang, bang, bang. As soon as Qin Feng disappeared, the ground he was standing on exploded. Crushed rocks rolled down the valley. Ling Tianhai and the other three stood at the edge of the cliff, looking down at the bottomless abyss. Fuck! Is this brat sick? Why did he jump off the cliff again? Ling Daozi was extremely gloomy. He shouted at the bottom of the cliff. Ling Tianhai and the two elders frowned and stared at the bottom of the cliff without saying a word. They didn't think that Qin Feng had really jumped off the cliff to commit suicide. There must be some cave or a place to climb down the cliff. Otherwise, Qin Feng would have fallen to his death last time. Sect leader Tianhai, what should we do now? Ling Daozi asked anxiously as they stood on the cliff in silence. That brat definitely didn't fall to his death. Let's go down and take a look. I think there are some mysteries at the bottom of the cliff. Ling Tianhai thought for a while and finally made a decision. Tomorrow was the martial arts circle convention. If Qin Feng didn't die, Ling Tianhai wouldn't be able to put down a stone in his heart. Sect leader Tianhai, please think twice. This cliff is bottomless, and it's late at night. If we jump down rashly, we might fall to our deaths. Ling Daozi was so scared that he cried out in alarm. He didn't want to jump down the cliff. Even if he was at the peak of stage 9 enrich, he couldn't fly. Wouldn't jumping down from this high cliff be throwing away his life in vain? The two elders also looked troubled. None of them wanted to go down, but they couldn't calm down without seeing Qin Feng's body. This made them very conflicted. Ling Daozi's strength is the weakest. You stay on the cliff to prevent that brat from making a sneak attack. Ling Yangzi and Aunt Ling Shui, follow me down to investigate. Tonight, we must kill that brat with our own hands. Ling Tianhai made a decision after a short moment of hesitation. He took the lead and jumped down the cliff. The two elders looked at each other, and their eyes were filled with helplessness. However, the two of them had no other choice. They leaped lightly and followed Ling Tianhai down. The three of them couldn't fly with their strength. After falling down the cliff, they began to free fall. The whistling wind beside their ears hurt their faces. For a moment, the two elders couldn't open their eyes. We can't let ourselves fall like this. You two, use your strength and slap me onto the cliff. Ling Tianhai quickly adapted to the feeling of falling and shouted to the two elders beside him. The two elders did not dare to be careless, and both struck out with their palms. The air exploded, and Ling Tianhai borrowed the power of his inner qi to jump onto the cliff halfway up the mountain. Come here. With both feet on the ground, Ling Tianhai felt much safer. Without the slightest hesitation, he waved his hand. The belt on his body flew out and directly wrapped around the arms of the two elders. Then, with a light pull, the two of them landed beside Ling Tianhai. The three of them stood halfway up the mountain. In front of them was a bottomless abyss. Behind them was a 2-meter deep hole. The three of them just happened to be standing inside. For a moment, they didn't dare to move. After this jump, they discovered that there was no mystery at the bottom of the cliff. If an ordinary person jumped down, they would undoubtedly die. They didn't know how Qin Feng survived. Sect leader Tianhai, two elders, are you all right? Ling Daozi stood alone on the cliff. His heart was in a mess. He didn't expect that the three of them would really jump down. Did they want to die? However, after shouting for a long time, Ling Daozi still didn't hear a reply from the three. At this moment, a sneer came from behind him. Ling Daozi, are you looking for me? You? Why are you behind me? Didn't you jump off the cliff? Ling Daozi was so scared that his eyeballs almost popped out. Although he was an expert at the peak of stage 9 inner chi, he was still a human. He would still be frightened by something that didn't make sense. Don't go back anymore. Otherwise, you'll fall off the cliff too. Don't you want to kill me? Now that I'm here, what are you afraid of? Qin Feng looked at Ling Daozi with a smile. Ling Daozi quickly calmed down. He was also suddenly frightened by Qin Feng. After all, Ling Daozi was an expert at the peak of stage 9 inner chi. Why would he be afraid of Qin Feng? Stinking brat. Where are the sect leader Tianhai and the two elders? How did you get up here? Ling Daozi's expression was cold, but he wasn't in a hurry to make a move. There were simply too many things that he couldn't understand. Qin Feng didn't say anything. Instead, he used his actions to answer Ling Daozi's doubts. A pink light flashed under the night sky, and the figure standing opposite Qin Feng also disappeared. Where is he? Where'd he go? Ling Daozi's expression changed drastically. An ominous premonition arose in his heart. Whoosh! A whistling gale reached his ears. It was as if a meteor had streaked past him. Ling Daozi didn't even have the chance to react. Suddenly, someone slapped him in the face. Bang! Ling Daozi was sent flying backward. Then, Qin Feng's sneer came from the void. You little trash want to kill me? Tonight, this will be your burial ground. After Ling Daozi fell to the ground, he immediately jumped up. He drew the long sword on his back and looked around. He wanted to find Qin Feng's position, but there was only a flash of pink light. It was so fast that Ling Daozi couldn't catch it. Every time he felt like he was about to locate it, the pink light would disappear in the next moment. Looking for me? Bang! Qin Feng's voice came again. With a casual slap, Ling Daozi flew more than 10 meters away. The speed of the starry sky flying sword was so fast that Ling Daozi didn't even have the strength to fight back. He was an expert at the peak of stage 9 inner chi, but at this moment, he was as weak as an ant in front of Qin Feng. He allowed Qin Feng to suppress him. You, where the hell are you? If you have the guts, come out and fight me fair and square. What kind of hero are you if you always hide in the dark? Ling Daozi had already forgotten how many times he had jumped up from the ground. He was already in a mess, and the long sword in his hand slashed randomly in the air. Sword chi surged violently, creating dozens of ravines on the ground above the cliff. However, it didn't hurt Qin Feng. Since you want to see me so much, I'll fulfill your wish. Qin Feng's figure appeared along with his voice. Before Ling Daozi could see Qin Feng, he looked up with his mouth wide open in shock. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.